Mm-hmm.
Sure your phones are silent.
Doing that right now. Gotcha. Oh.
Hey guys.
Yeah.
Welcome aboard, ladies and gentlemen. Week 8 edition of high school football here in the state of Louisiana. We are live from Gary Swallow's Taekwondo Martial Arts building here in Opelousas, Louisiana. Ladies and gentlemen, 8 weeks of high school football. It's getting down to the nitty gritty. You feel that chill in the air, ladies and gentlemen? You feel that little breeze? That's because the playoffs are really, really close, and we are knocking on the door. These final few weeks are going to set the tone for the season. Will there be contenders? Will there be pretenders? Finish the story is what those locker rooms are full of right now. Can you back up all the trash talk you said last week? Will it be the week to be humbled, ladies and gentlemen? District titles are on the line this week, next week, and the following. How will you be remembered? Do you want to go out and leave a legacy? If you're a senior, how will this season end for you? How about you make a statement here in week 8? How about you go put the state on notice? You got a great panel tonight. You got a great slate of games. It's going to be a huge one, ladies and gentlemen. Why do you play the game? Is it for weeks like this when you know you got an inferior opponent across the field from you and you know you have to give it your all for 4 quarters? You know you still got 2 weeks in the regular season. When you got week 11 coming up down the road, will you even make it to week 11? You only got 28 teams in public. You only got 24 teams in select. The times have toughened and the teams have grown to be in the elite level. I mean, you got playoff matchups starting to align a little bit here where you can say, man, that would be a fun matchup. These power rankings are going to be retarded. You look at this, who's who at this point, you have a pretty damn good idea when we go into week 8 of how good these teams actually are, who's on the bubble, who's in, who's going to lock up a first round bye this week. Keep that in mind. Top 4, top 8, first round byes. Who's going to lock it in, ladies and gentlemen? Lock it in, Gary Swallow. How about Holly's lock of the week, now 6-1 on the year? Who will it be tonight? Can they give her sweet number 7? We talked a lot. We got fired up for the recap show Friday night. If you missed it, you missed a dandy. But I promise you tonight, here, week 8, we are in store for a treat. Let's get this show on the road, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to turn things over to my panel because we got a packed house here tonight. We got some great games in front of us here. Look right there. We're covering a game Thursday. Look right here. OHS and Cecilia playing for a district title this week. You look at Basil and Woodbury, homecoming. I love both sides. There's going to be some bragging rights on the line for sure. These 2 teams are in line for a district title. These 2 teams are in line for a district title. We got a great slate of games behind us right here, ladies and gentlemen. You got a couple of 0-7 teams at the very top playing for their very first win this week. How about 17,000 followers now has hit under the lights. What an accomplishment for the panel. I want to say thank you to each and every one of you for that. Also, our 51st helmet this week has come in tonight. Thank you to Cecilia, assistant principal there. Coach Ortego, Seth Ortego, the assistant principal there, met me today and gave us a Cecilia helmet. So thank you, Coach, for that. This is show number 65. The climb to 100 is well underway. 16 unbeatens remain, ladies and gentlemen. We get to cover our game tomorrow at Livonia High School will be the 45th different stadium we've covered a game in. And also, Gina Bunky, wow, what a game. 2 7-0 teams going at it Friday night. Gina will be our 80th different team we've covered in 5 years. That's it for me, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to go ahead and introduce the panel at this time, starting from my far right. Welcome back, my friend.
Thanks, man. It's good to be on again. I had a really good last couple of days, so no better way to wrap it up than being under the lights.
Okay.
Thanks for having me on, Jordy. Second time I've been on. Had fun the first time. I think it's a great week of games. A lot of really good teams playing against each other. A lot of teams that are struggling playing each other. So a lot of difficult picks for us to do tonight. But happy to be here.
And I'm here too.
Mr. Gary Swallow.
It's 2-time back-to-back
Here we
week
go.
champion.
Oh!
I'm here.
You're lucky I'm not here every week, buddy.
Loud and
I put
proud.
that to the test every week if I was here.
Stir that pot, man.
Oh, what? Oh, you
Y'all
think you
sit
slick.
next to each other tonight, boys.
And it's three. It's a three-way tie.
It was a three-way
It was
tie.
a three-way tie last
Yep.
week, babes.
How about a 42-6 record last week, Dusty?
For all of the three of us.
And I was what,
Woo.
39?
39-9.
Almost.
That usually wins weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That normally that wins weeks. Hey,
If I would have went with my heart with the late Charles Prep game.
yeah. But let me tell you something about. Sometimes you got to get lucky. It's just three of us got lucky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chris Esprit, big game this week.
Yeah, man, big game, man. I mean, that's the game of the week from what I hear in the area.
You got some game of the weeks for sure in the area. That's for sure. That's one for sure. 4 teams we cover in this week. Crawley, Livonia, Bunky, Gina. How have we fared when we've covered these teams? Crawley, 0-1 record. Livonia, 0-1 record. They meet this week. So somebody's going to get that first win when we cover them. Bunky, 1-0 record. Gina, 0-0, first time ever. It's gonna be fun. That's gonna be an atmosphere to remember for sure. If you'd like to follow us on social media, ladies and gentlemen, Facebook, type in Under the Lights, like and follow. Twitter, UTL Sports 4. Go give us a follow there. And then Instagram, Under the Lights 4. Let's talk a little football, okay, boys? How's that?
That's good.
What is you doing with that pipe?
Uh-oh. Let's talk a little football. Some big-time headlines broke today. LHSA unveils reclassification numbers, sent shockwaves across the state of Louisiana. They got some teams moving up. They got some teams moving down. School principals will have the opportunity to appeal up to October 31st at noon. So we might see some teams appealing their numbers. We might see some teams asking to play up in classification. So keep that in mind. They're granted until that day to see if they want to go higher classification. We've seen a couple of those teams like the LCAs.
Mm-hmm.
We've seen the, who was it, Westgate play up. Am I wrong there? LCA played up.
LCA played up. Carr played up.
Core played up. There's another one. So a couple teams that we're gonna have to see if they're gonna play up again next year and who's new on the board this year. But moving up right now in classifications. Listen to these guys. Washita Christian has been considered a 2A program as a numbers purposes. That would be big. Homer also moving to 2A. It's not set in stone right now, but that's what the numbers look like right now. East Beauregard, 2A also. 3 teams right there that were 1A programs might be 2A next year. St. Charles might make the jump to 3A. Iowa, 4A numbers. Iowa back
Oh,
in
they're jumping
4A.
up.
We'll see. Wassman, also a 3A team, might make the jump to 4A because of their numbers. E.D. White, also 4A. And Neville, big school, they're finally in that 5A column.
I think they're gonna appeal it.
You think they're going to appeal?
About three students.
Yeah.
3 students?
It was real close. Real close.
Yeah, they were right at the border.
Iowa, they 4A now. Gonna be 4A.
Okay. How about moving down, ladies and gentlemen? St. Aug, 4A numbers. West Washita, 4A numbers. Como, 4A numbers. Scotlandville, 4A numbers. And Holy Cross, 4A numbers. That's 5A teams I just named that that might be moving down to 4A if they stick with this right now.
I'd heard the rumor that it was supposed to, that if any team from that big 5A district in our area was going to drop down, I'd heard it was going to be Carencro.
They didn't make the.
They didn't make the cut, right? That's what I heard before these numbers came
Como
out.
Came out as the one.
Yeah,
you gotta think.
Como I thought had a chance to drop, but I was like, it's either them or Crow, so it's Como. All right.
And you talked about it before we went on the air, Chris. You said St. Aug, Holy Cross, probably going to stay in that Catholic League and play up.
Yeah, I think they probably will, because the
Makes
4A
sense.
in New Orleans is not that strong. If they even have 4A schools in New Orleans. Yeah.
Carr and Easton, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got
Easton.
Carr, Easton, and maybe one or two.
Yeah, I'm
other
pretty sure they're going to
Catholic
be there
schools or something.
if they do. So they have an option.
Right.
Washington Marion moving down to 3A. That might be good for them.
They're
I
gonna
think
go-
that'll definitely help.
They're
That'll
going to go in
definitely
that
help.
district
That might jump
with
in that.
Prep, St. Louis,
Yes,
Jennings.
yes.
Yeah.
I think
They've
Kenner's
been-
moving out.
Well, Iowa moving out too because they're going to 4A.
Iowa's moving out, so Washington Marion move in. That would make sense.
Washington Mariners been jumping between 4 and 5A for almost a decade now.
Yes.
Right.
They've been in Beauchamps District at points, and then they've dropped to 3A and then come back up and down.
Kinder and Port Barry dropping down to 2A. It looks like.
Yeah.
Okay.
Rightfully
I
so.
think Kinder feels comfortable in 2A. I think Port Barry, playoff-wise, I think they would agree that this is where they belong.
With 2A teams they have in
Would
there.
they be thrown in?
Can we jump in that Division 4 bracket?
Yeah, that's what I was about to ask.
That's gonna be the key.
Well, from what I heard, rumors again, that LCA will be dropping back down to 2A.
I heard that also.
Yeah, I
we'll
heard
see
that
if they
too.
opt up to play again.
Right.
They might.
Union Parish is the big one here, going
Yeah.
down to 2A.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh Lord.
Yeah, Union Parish going
What
down.
district are they gonna get in?
Yeah.
The what's that? Oak Grove. That's 2A.
Yes.
Yeah. that's
They
all.
could wind up in there,
They
yeah.
could wind up in that district.
They
there.
could wind up in that. That would fit pretty well, I would think.
Homer's going up.
Homer's going up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Haynesville.
Haynesville's
Yeah.
gonna be 1A.
They're gonna stay at 1, yeah.
Ascension Episcopal, Grand Lake, and Genoa Trias dropping down to 1A.
Ooh,
Interesting.
that's some interesting numbers.
Would AE maybe consider staying in that district in 2A, or do you think they'd be content with just playing 1A?
I think they're good with 1A.
Who?
Ascension
Ascension
Episcopal.
Oh yeah, they're gonna be.
Yeah.
They're gonna stay.
It was just a question. I didn't know.
Yeah,
Figured-
yeah.
Yeah.
The big one is that right
No
there.
harm in
General
asking.
Trash.
Genoa Trias moving down after so much success a few years ago. This was Holden's favorite team a few years ago.
That's when they were scary, man. They had all those receivers and that quarterback.
Right.
Right.
So what is y'all thoughts on this right now? It's just the first draft. You know you got to send in numbers again. We don't know how the brackets will be next year. It will be voted on in January again. Will we see the same format? Oh, it's up in the air. Will we come back together? Probably not. There's so much in the air of how things will look in 2024. But with this shakeup here, we could be in store for some big things down the road.
Yeah.
I think Unison Appeal will probably drop to 3. They were right on the border. I think if they appeal, they'll probably drop down to 3 because they were like right there. It's like 3 kids or something. They were above on the 4A line. So
Dustin, what you think about all this mess? We didn't have this when you played.
No, we were always 2A. But I mean, some heavy hitters. You're talking about Washita Christian, Homer. I mean, that's 2 teams that were in the Dome last year.
Yeah.
That could be going up in classification. Neville's always one of the best teams in the state. So, I mean, seeing them play in 5A, that'd
Will
certainly
we
be
see
interesting.
Neville back in that West Monroe district?
Yeah.
That's a possibility. You're right.
Western Pine,
that might give 3 5A a run for its money for best district in the next
Danvers.
couple of years. Throw
Yeah.
Neville in there. Woo.
Gary, your thoughts on all this craziness that unfolded today?
Well, I mean, there's some I like, some I'm questioning, but until we get all the final numbers, you got appeals and everything that's going to come out. That's going to change. You know, what they came out with today is just a
rough draft.
rough draft of what's going to happen. The next one, when they come
official.
out after they have their next meeting and all that stuff, that's going to be the one. But I'll be honest with you, I think I'm gonna be honest with you. Being biased, I think Fort Berry should not be a 3A school. I think they are a 2A school. They've been 2A forever. I mean, you back in the day, we were the smallest 3A school in the state, playing in the same district with the biggest 3A school in the state, in Eunice. And then, but that was before Eunice moved up. And so I'm happy with some of them like that. But man, some of these powers, oh my God, why are you moving down? You know, because you're dominating in where you're at. You know.
Well, I mean, they're moving down the numbers.
Yeah, and I know that, and I'm
Right.
just saying that. But I mean, if
If
you have the option to stay
elect,
where you at,
This
and
is-
as far as competition,
yeah,
yeah, that's,
they're gonna
that's
elect.
something.
They're gonna. I think a lot of them gonna elect to.
And I don't
stay.
think this is anybody running away from anybody type of deal. This is how many kids you got in the school.
Right.
And
And
that-
I mean,
that's what it
you're
is.
going to do what you feel is in best interest of your athletic program.
Right.
That's not
And
running
it's
away,
beyond the
in my opinion.
coach's control.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
beyond the principal's control. It's the enrollment.
What y'all think about this comment here? Which school y'all thinking?
Let's see what he said.
Yeah.
Watch out for a certain Lafayette
Lafayette
school
school.
to decide on playing up.
LCA.
That's
I
fine.
think cause see,
They're playing up right now.
yeah, they're playing up right now. But I heard rumors that they were gonna go back down. You know, so I'm not sure, but Como should. You know, I think Como with the loss of.
That might help them out.
Yeah,
I mean,
it-
Southtown
it-
took a
I
lot of those
honestly
kids.
think
So
that would help.
that was
help
a matter
Como
of
out.
time.
I
Because
think
they-
moving to 4A will help Como out.
They lost a lot of kids to Southside.
Yep.
Yep.
And I mean, they were doing well before that, you know. But
Yeah.
they'll probably be in that district with Opelousas.
Okay, LCA will be moving down. Watch out for STM on deciding to move up.
I
But
don't see
if it
STM
happens-
moving up. He might be right,
If
but
it
I
happens,
don't.
hallelujah.
So-
Finally.
Yeah.
But,
look who was coming from Mel Kiper.
Yeah.
Yeah. I personally don't see it, but hey, maybe
Hey,
you
but
know.
this is the wizard
Yeah,
that you're talking to.
He is the man.
That's Mel
He is the
Kiper.
Yeah,
man.
no, he's had a really good beat on some info
Oh, no,
throughout the
man.
year. I've noticed that.
That is our that's our lifeline right there, man. I'm
Hey,
sorry.
questions for the panel here, okay?
Let's go.
Go.
Go for it.
What's keeping us from seeing in-city matchups, in your opinion? I'm just gonna throw out a couple names for you, and y'all might be able to answer this. Find out a couple teams in different parts of the city, but like a Eunice versus St. Ed's, like a OHS OC, what's keeping us from seeing in-city matchups, in your opinion? I'll start with you. You got the OHS OC matchup. We saw it a couple years ago. What's keeping it from happening in the near future, or having like the fans of Opelousas to get on board for this matchup?
And I could put another game in at Norwest too.
Yeah,
I mean, the coaches just got to sit at the table and make it happen.
yeah.
Yeah.
So it's nothing that the fans doesn't want.
The fans
It's-
want it.
Exactly.
The city wants it.
The city wants it. Yeah.
It's the coaches have to sit at the round table and let's make it happen. I'm gonna use Northwest and Opelousas for an example. We it's not about the level of competition. I think it's equal
Yeah.
because we got to play in the playoffs. So we may meet Northwest in the playoffs.
I think y'all are actually, if it ended today, y'all would meet Northwest in the first round.
Yeah,
We
Right.
talked
Yeah,
about
we
it last
talked,
week.
yeah.
Yeah.
So OC on the other level, man,
I mean, I know it's 4A, 1A type of deal, but a community game like that.
right. And you have to look at it on coaches on our end playing down. We don't gain anything.
Correct. PowerPoints comes into the picture
Right.
here, playing down.
Right.
I knew that would be a topic that would come up of what's keeping these city matchups apart. But you do see it like
yeah.
Nish and Westgate play each
Right.
other.
Like I would love to see in Lafayette Parish, LCA and Carencro. You know.
It might happen. Well, no, it's not going to. Unless
Yeah, I mean-
LCA got the weird idea of moving up to 5A.
You know, but I would love to see that.
I don't think that happens,
Schedule
though.
that games like how the Carencro, Acadiana, and LCA and Acadiana.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, so I think the
Oh,
coaches
yeah,
have to sit at the
yeah.
round table and make it happen. Even a Eunice game to be
Yeah.
back on the schedule.
What do y'all think about the Eunice St. Ed's game? I mean, it seems like one side wants to play it, one side doesn't. I mean, I don't think it's a 4A, 1A type of deal here. I think it's great for the community, but like you said, PowerPoints could be the ultimate decider when you're thinking playoff format down the road.
I think it's just timing. Sometimes, I mean, we know that coaches will plan well in advance for their schedule for next year when it comes to non-district.
Correct.
Because, I mean, most coaches at least have a general idea what their district should look like.
Right.
And they're going to plan around that, and I mean, it just, whenever it depends on who calls or who you call, and if you can make a date happen, then make a date happen. Like, say, Beauchamp Port Bear, for instance. We know that's going to happen next year. We know that's carrying over.
Right.
You know,
Right.
and there's certain games where it's like, yeah, you're going to keep that every year, you know. But yeah, I think you could use the PowerPoint argument, and you might be right. But I think a lot of it's just sometimes timing. You know, maybe you have a better offer on the table to maybe play a team that you feel is a little bit closer to you as far as talent goes, and you want to take that as a litmus test instead of necessarily the cross-up
Could it be
game.
something where you wouldn't want to be in a bragging rights type of
Well,
deal?
That's also a possibility.
You're gonna like I can use it for an example. I have friends that go to Northwest.
Okay.
They went to Northwest, and we played that game that 1 year. And then the following year, COVID hit. We couldn't play the first 2 games of the season.
Right.
Okay, so they have the bragging rights over me right now. And like I say, until the coaches sit down at the table and they hey, let's make this happen for the city, for the community.
And here's what I was trying to get to the panel real quick, and Braden
Ray
brings
hit
up.
it right on there.
He said West Monroe and Neville will never play each other unless they are forced to because of the playoffs. Too much hostility between schools will not let it happen, even though the community wants it.
I don't think that's and I understand what he's saying. I don't think that's here.
That might be more
Right.
of an exception
Well,
rather
down
than the
south
rule, I
wise.
would think.
Right.
Yeah.
We have more understanding.
Well-
Sound south.
Well,
Yeah, I don't think every community has that problem.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, like Acadiana and Carencro, they don't rip each other's heads off every time they play, or you
No,
know, you look
but-
at some of the other more heated rivalries around this area. It's usually never gets
And you can't
bad to where.
And here's the thing. We played Eunice when I was in school, every year.
Yep.
Uh,
Yep.
And
For the wall after
There's an
too.
example for you. Bill Platt Second Order every year.
yeah, every year.
Right.
Regardless of who has a better team or who don't,
Right.
they still play the game.
That's what the T
You know
Cotton
what I'm saying?
Bowl.
So,
Yeah,
so a lot
they got a name for it.
a lot of small schools. I'm just using OC for an example.
Right.
If don't want to schedule the game when you think you're good,
Right.
you know, play when you're not good because you may catch Opelousas on a down year and rebuilding, and
Yeah.
you got the upper hand.
Yeah.
But
You know.
it all has to start with the coaches. I mean, the town wants it. You know, you might have the town that wants it and everything like that. But until the coaches get together and see that it can benefit them, and that's what it is. It's got to benefit them in some way, shape, or form. Because if you're okay for OHS, if OHS plays OC. Are you gaining PowerPoints? No.
No.
You're not really gaining anything on that.
No.
So you got to look at it that way. But, you know, if OC beats OHS, then, boy, they're just through the roof, you know?
Right.
So there's got to be something. But the coaches have to get together and see if it's feasible and what it is. And no, we can talk about it all night long.
I think another thing that we
it's
might
not
not
gonna
be considering, and I was just thinking about this now, I think it could play a part in it. It just depends. Maybe if you look at, say, I can use Opelousas and OC as an example.
So, hold on. Correct me if
Go for
I'm
it.
wrong. Captain Shreve Bird, same city?
Mm-hmm.
Same stadium?
Same stadium.
Every year,
Stadium.
right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So, okay, back to my point. I think another thing that we might not be accounting for, some of these cross-city teams can maybe look at the strength of schedule for the other team. That's at least what they're projecting, and they could be like, they may not help us. You know, that's a thought.
Yeah.
Like maybe say, like Chris said, maybe if OC or Opelousas is on a down year, if they looked at it and like, we're not going to get too many PowerPoints off them. Is it worth it? You know, that's something that's also that can be
And
considered.
now with the playoff format the way it is, you need those power
need
points.
power
You need them. You need them
Now that the
definitely
playoffs
more
are
than
shrinking.
yeah.
I think-
you need them
I
definitely more
think-
than when they did when
And
it
I
wasn't
don't
split.
think that game will happen.
I don't think so either.
But I think the
Not in the
Northwestern
next 2 years.
Opelousas game would. Before that one would.
Yeah.
I think St. Ed's Eunice could happen.
It could.
It could, but I don't think it will.
Because then you have to look at recruiting battles.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was
You
going
have
to
to
get
look
at.
at kids. Well,
You got big brother, little brother.
Right.
You know, that's what you're looking at.
you know.
Mm-hmm.
So I
Yeah,
Hey,
if
I
you're
thought
the
it was
head
just
coach,
a fun topic to talk about
Right.
tonight.
Oh yeah,
Right,
definitely. I'm glad you brought it up.
but I would love to see it. Every year.
Play for Opelousas trophy.
Well,
No kidding,
Well,
huh?
Norwest has the trophy. We did play for a trophy.
Yeah, well, you had
And Norwest has it, but in order for us to get it back, the game had to happen again.
Yeah.
Right.
Or whatever.
Correct.
Even Eunice, I would go for it in Eunice. Eunice right down the street. That could be a rivalry game too.
Yeah.
It's
Yep,
in
play it out every year.
schools, you know what I'm saying? And
Right.
So
Panel, which undefeated team is in the most jeopardy this week, not including our 2 7-0 games? Which undefeated team is in the most jeopardy this coming week, not included our 7-0 teams?
I looked down at the schedule just now, and the first game I saw,
Okay,
Karen Crow.
Karen Crow. That's gonna be a high scoring affair over there.
I'm gonna say Saint Amant.
Santa Maria Dutchtown.
Saint Amant is.
Scared,
Don't get me wrong, they're really good, but I think that Dutchtown's gonna give them a real good fight. I think. I'm not saying who's gonna win yet, but I think Saint Amant might be in the most trouble.
Gary, Dusty, what y'all thinking?
yeah,
Man.
I was going to go with him,
Santa Maria?
with
Yeah.
Samuel.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was thinking the same
I'm
thing.
not bashing on Saint Amant at all. I respect what they've kind of put together the last
Carr?
2 years. You know.
With Carr's slow starts here lately, can Holy Cross catch them this week?
Very
I
good
don't know.
chance.
It's gonna be close. They're gonna play hard. And
Oh, yeah.
we just know if Carr wins, they're in the driver's seat.
Mm-hmm.
How
Right.
good is East St. John?
It's gonna come out between them and Dusturhan, I believe, when
Can
that
they
matchup
get past
happens.
Terrebonne this week? That'll be a question.
Right.
Mm.
Got anything you want to add, big boy?
I think the Arbonne Woods.
No 7-0 games.
I can't. Oh,
No.
I just probably East St. John.
East St. John? Stop
Yeah.
says East St. John beats Terrebonne by at least 7.
Ooh, okay. That
really?
could be a little. That could be
So
bold.
Santa Maria,
Maybe.
East
Their
St.
schedule's
John
coming.
could be our 2 scares to watch this week.
I think
Yeah.
so.
And
Okay.
Karen Crow.
And Karen Crow.
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, next question for you. Biggest rivalry game you've ever been a part or witnessed in person? Who would it be? Go.
Bullshine OHS when I was in school.
Okay. Dusty, what year was that first?
For us, it was 2010. My first year was my freshman year. We went to Donald Gardner Stadium and won that game 7-0 off of a Justin Harris fumble return for a touchdown.
Okay.
That was one of those games where it was, at the time at least, stole the record books away.
Okay. Dusty, biggest rivalry game you've ever been a part of or witnessed in person?
I'll go witnessed. When West Monroe played Evangel in the state championship, I think it was '99. We had played in the Dome the day before, so we came to watch that game. And I mean, they had been the 2 powers of the state for the last 5 years or so. And I mean, it felt like a college atmosphere with the
Right.
attendance, and it was just that was awesome.
Garrett, biggest rivalry game you've ever been a part of or witnessed?
The biggest one that I can honestly say
Lord have mercy.
is for me personally, as far as watching it, is just locals. I'm gonna say as far as being a part of it, being on the sideline was OC Port Barre. The first time Port Barre beat them in buku years.
Yeah.
That was. I mean, they had people crying on the sideline. They were so excited, and that was years ago. And then Port Barre went on that run to where they dominated, and then now it's backwards. But the first time that they ever had a chance to beat them, and they did, was just phenomenal. That was just such a emotional moment.
Oh, no
as far as
kidding.
that. So I would say that.
Holden?
I've been to a lot of them. I think it was a few years ago when we were in the Dome when Warren Easton and Edna Carr played. It was like 30-28, or 30. I think Carr won by 1 or 30-29. Forgot the
Yeah.
final score. Carr won by 1.
Wasn't it like a failed 2-point conversion that Warren Easton went?
Warren Easton was going to win the game.
Yeah,
Yes, it
I
was.
remember that game. I remember watching
Yep.
it.
Chris?
Oh man, I can't say I witnessed. I've been a part of. Octopus versus St. Martinville.
Okay.
Okay.
That's never a game we could get back.
Yeah.
If St. Martinville
If
go
St.
back up
Martinville
and
jumps back up,
and
I
Corey-
don't see it happening anytime soon, though.
They'd be on schedule.
They're stinking in 3A for a while.
That game there, we had won district 4 years in a row outright, and that year that St. Martinville was loaded. That was in 90. That year we went to the semifinals, and they were loaded, and we went to St. Martinville and a punt return. That's how we won the game.
Oh, okay. Nice.
On a punt return.
I was waiting on Ned to talk about one of maybe those 1940 games.
I'm not gonna do one that I've been a part of. I'll do one that I've covered these last few years. That's fine. I'll give you 2 then. Number 1, I'll give you the Sacred Heart and St. Ed's rivalry,
Yeah.
and number 2, I'll give you the, you know what I'm talking about, huh?
Probably.
Kaplan and
You should have asked me. I would have told you that one. Abbeville.
Mm-hmm.
y'all like that rivalry, huh?
Yeah.
I like that game that we were at.
Kaplan and Abbeville has been a treat.
Oh,
Another one that's always fun is
And
Acadiana
like
and Carrickro. That's another one that's always fun to go to.
And all that.
They had about 10,000 people at that game last year.
Brayden said 27,000 people at that one. Jeez, Louise.
Quick one.
Read the comments.
You could fill up you all want
That
roast
Zachary,
with that.
that Zachary Rustin playoff game last year was they said they had about 15,000.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe more.
Hey, next question for the panel. This late in the season, week 8, this late in the season, what is a coach's biggest concern? Right now, what would it be?
Injuries.
Is it worrying about, can we get our offense rolling? Is it worried about, can our defense stop anybody? Is it worried about, hey, do I have enough healthy guys to even make a run at this title?
Yeah.
Is it, I
I'd say
mean,
injuries.
I'll
are
do
you
both.
worried about power rankings?
That was gonna be my second point.
Am I even in the playoffs?
I don't think a lot of coaches worried about the rankings. They will,
If they're on the bubble, they do.
If they in the playoffs, you know one or two things. If you got a home game or you got a away game.
Okay.
If you're in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Then they go down the line. Your offense should be gelling by now.
Okay.
Should be.
Your defense should be gelling right now. They should know
8 weeks to get
Where
their
to be.
footing?
right
Right.
Oh.
That's good, right?
injuries. Staying not injuries and just staying
You
healthy.
agree with Brayden then? Health and not looking ahead.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's right.
Oh, yeah.
That's exactly
Because
right.
at the end of the day, if I play this game tomorrow, I gotta go in there healthy or not.
Right.
I can't let the team the following week know that I'm coming in there banged up.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
So we just gonna go out there. We gonna hide some guys that's hurt. Why he ain't play this much? Why he ain't play that much? You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, you know, so you're gonna go in there strategically, week 8, even though you banged up, you're not gonna show it.
Yeah.
Let's just say you're playing not so much of a strong team, then you can keep some guys on the sideline that's hurt.
Yeah, this is the time of year where if you haven't started altering your practice schedule, if you're guaranteed a playoff berth,
Yeah.
practice might start getting a little bit lighter for your veterans, your two-way guys, just to make sure they have fresh legs in a couple of weeks when the playoffs really do start. So to me, it's injuries and making sure you have fresh legs, and just try to get your team playing their best ball now. Because I mean, look at Brother Martin last year. I mean,
Got hot.
yeah, they got hot.
Right.
They got hot and
And
they rolled it all the way to the dome.
Right. So I agree. I agree with all that. That's
Okay.
health. To me is the most important
So
thing.
that was my next point for y'all, panel. Approaches to games that you know you're gonna be the favorite in, you're probably gonna win, or it might be a non-district game this late into the season because you know teams have those.
Yep.
Right.
Okay? And you have a district title game down the line. Maybe next week, maybe week 10. You know you're going to win the game, or it's a non-district game that could go either way. Do you go to that route where you say, I got bigger things down the road? I got to make sure I got a healthy bunch to go win a district title. Do you take back the aggressive game plan and you go and focus for down the road? Or do you scale things back to make sure, hey, we go win a district title and not go lose any important guys in this meaningless non-district game? What's y'all thoughts on that?
That was like last week we played Livonia. And, you know, coach got his starters in, got them out. You know, let your backups get some time. Let them, you know, start getting their feet wet. Let your younger guys, your freshmen getting their feet wet because you know what's coming up next week.
Okay.
And I look at on Cecilia's side, I saw their schedule. They can't take off. Even if win or lose, they still got the last game of the season. They got to play Iowa. That's a non-district game.
Yeah.
But they got to play Iowa. So that could determine their seedings in the
It could
playoffs.
get them a bye depending on what happens.
You know what I'm saying? So we have Robridge and then Beauchamp.
Okay, so do you think that this matchup here, do you think that this game right here is meaningless and Week 10 district title is what they want?
I think Port Barry gonna come out there and gonna play.
Right, but
This
you
is
think
must win for Port
Basile
Barry.
is
Yeah.
thinking,
They
hey,
don't
we're thinking
overlook
Port
them.
Barry, or we're thinking let's beat East Bow for the district title.
They
Week 10.
thinking East Bow, and they're gonna overlook Port Barry, and anything can happen.
Right.
But don't overlook them. But I'm pretty sure they are. You know.
Yeah.
What y'all think? And in that perspective, if a coach knows, hey, I have a non-district opponent, I have a easy game this week, and I have a district title Week 10.
Don't look too far ahead.
Yeah.
You worry about the team that you're playing. It doesn't matter if it's non-district. It doesn't matter if it's a team that you're favored to win. You approach it the same way that you approached it to get you to your 6-1, 7-0, 5-2 record, or to get you in that potential district spot. Because when you take your eyes off of the games that are in front of the big one, it could very well bite you in the long run. So you take any game that's ahead of a big matchup, say that East Bow or whatever.
Hey, Troy brings up a good point here. Just play your team no matter how meaningless the game is. Get your team in sync,
Yep.
work on some things for the playoff,
Yeah.
and then get everybody out.
Because right now, a lot of teams they're not going out there full pads, just helmets. Right about now, it's week 8, so now you got your O line up there against guys that's a weak team. Hey, work on your pulling, work on your technique, your fundamentals of the game, everything else, your blocking schemes.
Gotta keep
Work on
those.
that. You know, you like you said, you gotta stay intact.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You can't mess with your rhythm. You got to keep it there.
And that it's not just players, it's coaches too. You know, you got hey, work on your craft too as a coach.
Most definitely.
Good. Anything else y'all want to add to that before I move on?
Well, let's go.
No.
We good?
Y'all good?
Good, man.
Yeah.
How about we go top 10 headlines of the week right now? That's cool with y'all?
Let's do it.
Go ahead.
Good with y'all guys?
Yeah.
At any point you would like to discuss it, praise it, talk a little bit about it,
Hard game.
go for it, okay? Like we
Alright.
said, big headline was LHSA did unveil the reclassifications. So that made top 10.
Yeah.
Number 2, top 10 headlines of the week. Livonia will honor the 10-year reunion of the 2023 state runner-up team at halftime this coming week. So I will get to see that honor tomorrow night.
Nice.
That was a good team.
Absolutely.
No
That's
kidding.
Coach Bruce's team right there.
Yeah.
Now at Zachary.
Yeah, they lost to Union.
Union Parish.
Union Parish.
Double overtime.
And you know who's the defensive coordinator?
Yes, sir. I remember. That was just it meant to be all night after that tragedy.
That was Patrick Queen's sophomore year, huh?
No idea.
Yeah.
I think he won the dome. He won his ring as a senior, if I'm not
They
mistaken.
went back to back.
Yeah.
Oh, they went back to back. That's
They
what
won
it
it the
was. Okay.
first year.
Okay, that's what it was.
CJ Powell was the quarterback.
Yes.
Yeah.
Centerville quarterback Jackson Frederick passed for over 1,000 yards this season. Here's the common thing here. It's the first time in school history anyone has passed that mark. So congratulations to Mr. Frederick, now into the record books at Centerville.
That's awesome. Great.
Take my cap off for that.
Man. Congratulations.
The Arbonne Woods stays undefeated and improved to 6-0 for the first time in school history. So that's a huge congratulations there. But boy, to get to 7-0, it's going to take a whole hell of a lot.
You're right.
But first time in school history, that's a congratulations indeed.
Yes,
Yup.
definitely.
Bunkie improves to 6-0 for the first time since 2003. You think that stadium's going to be jumping Friday night or what?
It is going to be rocking.
Yep. Inching closer to possibly being undefeated.
Right.
Kaplan's off to its best start since 2016. Can they slay the Giant this week? Can they go and take the district title from St. Martinville? That'll be tough.
We'll talk about it, I'm sure.
West Monroe will celebrate the 30-year reunion of the 1993 state championship team this week there. Neville beat Grant last week and extended their district win streak to 53 straight district wins.
Jeez, man.
You heard that, Chris?
That is
Neville
amazing.
beat Grant last week and extended their district win streak to 53 in a row.
And they got Peabody coming up.
No, they already beat Peabody. Riverdale to retire Dante Jackson's jersey tomorrow night.
Okay.
Played at LSU.
Yeah.
Yup.
You know another guy that played at LSU? Glenn Dorsey's number 72 jersey, now retired at East Ascension.
Right.
Yeah.
Well deserved.
And one more for you guys. Graham Monte of St. Louis broke the St. Louis Catholic football record of 330 tackles in a season, held by Colin Todd. No, in a career.
Okay.
By Colin Todd. Graham currently holds the record at 340 tackles. He is now the all-time career tackle record holder. Congratulations to Mr. Monte.
Most definitely. Most definitely.
Some headlines for you guys. Anything y'all want to add to that?
That's about it, man.
Yeah.
That's about it.
And then Mr. Braden had something for us, didn't he?
He always has.
John Curtis beating Acadiana last
Got a
week.
headline for you, Jordy. With John Curtis beating Acadiana last week to avoid a 3-game losing streak, Curtis has still gone since 1969, since they've lost 3 games in a row. Who finds that stuff?
Brady.
Brady does.
Well, he's got the inside scoop on everything, just to call him
indeed,
Scoops.
my friend.
Well, I picked Curtis to win last week. So
I picked him too. Yeah. We had to stun Gary
Yeah.
for a minute.
That's all right.
Hey, rankings going into week 8. Your number 1 teams going into week 8. We got some new blood at the top of the rankings this week. We start select Division 4, St. Mary's. Big time loss last week to Peabody. Still ranked number 1. Division 3, new blood at the top, St. Charles. With a 7-0 record. Now at the top, rightfully so.
Yeah, no surprise there.
Division 2, no change here. St. Thomas More, another week.
Mhm.
Division 1, we got new blood at the top, ladies and gentlemen. With the loss Holy Cross had last week. How about Captain Shreve jumping up to number 1 this week at 6-1 records.
Nice.
Non-select, Division 4, number 1 ranked team this week, Kentwood Ruse. Another week at number 1.
One of Gary's favorites.
That's right.
He likes that water
I
tower.
like that water tower, right? You're right, I do.
Division 3, your number 1 ranked team in Division 3. How about the Gina Giants, ladies and gentlemen? We get to see the number 1 team in the state this week.
That's right. We sure do.
I picked against them a couple of times. I don't know if I'm going to do it again this year. Not sure. They proved me wrong. Gina's legit.
Division 2, number 1 ranked team. How about the defending state champs in Letcher?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Their only loss this year, Chris, A 3-point loss to St. Charles.
Yeah.
That's a good
Another
loss.
number one
That
team.
And your number 1 ranked team this week, it goes to Big Ruston
Oh yeah.
for Division 1.
You right.
Oh,
Technically, it should be 6-1. But
Yes, we agree.
Mhm.
Kevin Stott's going crazy with that.
That's a tough game.
State runner-ups, how do we fare? Division 4, Washington Christian comes in at 5. Vermilion Catholic comes in at 2. Division 3, St. Charles is at 1. Dunham is at 8. Division 2, St. Thomas More is at 1. LCA is at 2.
1 and 2, baby.
1 and 2.
1 and 2.
Week 10, gearing up for those two.
Game of the year, possibly.
Division 1, John Curtis is at 10 and Brother Morton is at 3. Non-select side. Division 4, Oak Grove is at 5. Homer is at 14. Who wants to play a 14 seed right now?
Name Homer.
Good God.
Yeah. Homer 14. That's
That's
scary.
crazy. Sorry.
Division 3, Manny is at 6. Union Parish is at 5. Division 2, look at this matchup. Lutcher at 1. North DeSoto at 3.
Wow.
Division 1, Destrehan is at 7. Ruston is at 1.
Yeah.
Extra hand.
A lot of rematchups in the dome could happen.
Is it just me, or is Destrehan kind of just quietly really good like they were last year?
They did it last year, and it looks like they're doing it this year.
They got
You
the-
don't want
they
to.
got
I don't
the
want to
low-
play.
We
with
had
them,
this
man.
conversation last year.
I don't wanna play
Destrehan
the
was
7
a
seed
quiet
right now.
undefeated team
No.
last year.
7 seed Destiny. Yeah, right.
They
Hey,
got-
teams on the bubble. Division 4, Hamilton Christian sits at 25. Top 24 get in. Maybe one more win gets them in.
I think one win does, yeah.
Division 3, we don't have anybody locally. Division 2, Washington Marion sits at 29. I think they're just too far out, Chris.
I mean, if they
Well,
beat Lagrange, it's a good
Gotta
start.
get up to 24.
Oh, you got.
And they
Oh,
five
yeah.
spots
Oh,
away.
okay. Yeah,
Let me see the
maybe.
remaining
I think they're too
schedule.
far out.
If they can find a way to pull off an upset and then beat Lagrange, then they'll get in. But
Some teams are gonna have to.
Yeah,
they got to play the. They're gonna have to take one of those
Range
other two games and play the game of their life.
Okay,
Yeah.
how about Division 1, a team that is currently in the playoffs right now, but is flirting with falling out? They're on the bubble. Lafayette sits at 23. Top 24 gets in.
I think that they'll make it.
We'll see, man. They got to play who this week?
They have Barb this week, Southside, and New Iberia. They can get in.
They can
One
get in.
gets them in or 2 gets them in.
2.
Okay.
2 for sure.
Yeah.
1 if they get a little bit of help.
Como's at 28. Top 24 get in, 2 4 out, even if they reel off 3 wins.
Yeah.
I think so too. I
Como
think it's too
got
far
New
out for 'em.
Iberia this week.
If they get 3 straight wins, it would put them in, but
Highly unlikely, right?
Yeah, they can.
it's unlikely.
Who they
Yes.
got?
New Iberia this week.
Okay.
Barb
Game.
and Sulphur.
Okay. I mean, it's favorable.
Yeah.
It's yeah.
Non-select East Beauregard sits at 25. Top 28 get in. Will they fall these next few weeks out of that top 28? We'll see. Division 3, Avoyelles sits at 29. Fort Barry sits at 30. Top 28 gets in.
Fort Barry wins 2 games. They're in.
Avoyelles, Chris?
Look at their schedule.
Tough.
They
Avoyelles
got
got
a tough
Southern
schedule.
Lab this week.
Good luck.
Vols is gonna have to. If they lose to Southern Lab, they have to win the next 2 games to have a shot. But their non-district might help them out with the PowerPoints. I mean, they played Turlings and played a couple other really good teams.
That's what's got them up.
So Vols might have a chance.
That's what a 1-6 record has them up at 29 right now.
Yeah.
Yep. Division 2, North Vermilion sits at 29 and St. Martinville sits at 27. Could we possibly see both of those teams in, both of those teams out, or just one of them gets in?
St. Martinville in, North Vermilion out.
That's Division 3.
That's going to be Division 2, sir.
I would say St. Martinville gets in. I don't see that North
They taking the
Vermilion
top to
does.
28.
Top 28.
Yeah.
Although if North Vermillion beats Northside, then
If a 5 seed gotta play St. Martinville in the first round, holy cow!
have fun with that.
Yeah, hey, it's close too with
Yeah.
Northwest and Church Point. Well, Northwest should make it.
Yeah, I think.
I
Yeah,
think so.
yeah, they'll make
Yeah,
it.
they got Pineville play their move.
That was North Vermillion I'm talking about.
Oh yeah.
Division 1, Barb sits at 26. Could they fall out?
They could. They could.
Barb has.
Duck Road Sports Network, we have your game on the picks. You might want to stick down to and find out.
Barb can.
Stick around and find out. Check
Barb-
those rankings. My man says Pillsbury moved up to 29 today.
Yeah, I just saw it. Barb can. They can win 2 out of the next 3.
They got a 50-50 shot to get in, I think.
Then that'd be the
Right.
KM.
Dusty, your highest ranked locals, my friend. Division 4, Vermillion Catholic is at 2. Division 3, Bunkie is at 6. Division 2, St. Thomas More is at 1. Division 1, Karen Crow is at 4. Highest ranked locals in non-select. Jeanerette, Division 4 at 4. Division 3, Kinder at 10. Division 2, Cecilia at 7. And Division 1, Southside at 9. That's our highest ranked locals. We're based in Opelousas, ladies and gentlemen.
Yo,
Right.
All right, let's go UTL top 5 small schools, UTL top 5 large schools, and it changed.
Mm-hmm.
This is my top 5, and I would love to hear y'all's.
Okay.
Okay, Chris, it changed.
All right.
All right, get ready.
I'm listening.
You want to go smaller or large first?
Let's go small first.
Okay, we'll go small.
Show the little guy some love.
UTL top 5 this week has changed.
What you consider small? 1 to 3A.
1 to 3.
All right.
Okay.
Okay. Washita Christian still in my top 5.
Okay.
Calvary Baptist still in my top 5.
Yeah.
St. Charles still in my top 5.
Uh-huh.
I got Gina Bunkie / winner of that game gets the spot.
Okay.
Okay?
All right.
And I gave the last spot to Vermillion Catholic.
Okay. Gina. St. Charles, Calvary, and St. Mary. And I'm like you, VC.
You like VC?
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to leave. It's hard to leave EDY out, Gary.
I like those though. I like those.
That's a really good list.
I put the / with Gina and Bunkie. Winner gets in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think the winner of that game's gonna.
I think. I mean, kind of just playing in my head. I mean, I would definitely think St. Charles is number 1 in my opinion. They definitely would be my number 1. But the 2 through 5. I mean, yeah, you can kind of shoot them in the air and you wouldn't be wrong.
Yeah, Braden. ULab's only lost this year. It was to Rummel. So
Yeah, I'll get ready to say that too. We've been disrespecting you, Lab. They still that power. That one loss shouldn't determine, But
Yeah, ULab definitely is up there too. Like I said, there's a few teams that are right underneath that top 5. You could put them in there and you'd be like, yeah, that's justified.
Justin, you've been making picks every week. You've asked me to send you the list every week. So you've seen these 5-6 teams all year. So who you're most impressed with out of that list?
Well, my list would be U-High, St. James, Calvary, St. Charles, and Washita.
There you go.
That's 5, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we could have been sleeping on St. James too. St. James is always really
I
good.
mean, it's all. God, there's none of out of those. You just
Yeah.
pick
Yeah.
one,
Yeah.
2.
You might have to split this up by the classes themselves
Oh, you
because
got a top 5 or
it's
you
too much
good?
almost.
I like yours.
Mine's okay. Want to go large schools?
Yes.
Let's do it.
Okay. Some shake up here, Chris. You remember my top 5 last week?
Not really, but go
Okay.
ahead.
A shake up. In the top 5. St. Thomas More, and this is no particular order.
Okay.
St. Thomas More, Etna Carr, Gesterhan, Ruston, and LCA takes the spot over Karen Crow.
I can agree with that. I would.
Schedule purposes, LCA over Karen Crow.
Yeah, that was mine, but I was going to put Karen Crow.
Yeah, I'm with Chris
Karen
there.
Crow,
I put
it's like
Crow
the Karen
over.
Crow.
I know.
And
I went
Karen
schedule.
Crow's like 5'8". You know, it could be in the top.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
just-
I would put
I'll put
put
LCA.
Crow in that 5, and then East St. John is
Yeah.
kind of an honorable mention.
LCA schedule over Karen Crow to slot in my top 5.
Oh, Mindy not happy. She said
I would
no.
put it there because
No.
the win over Turlins.
Yeah.
Karen Crow's district is you know, it is with Karen Crow.
Yeah, but has Karen Crow has not played Acadiana yet. They played Southside and
Well, that's going to be determined right there.
Southside and Alexandria has been their toughest game so far.
I mean,
Am
yeah.
I mistaken?
yeah.
So far,
New Iberia too. Didn't New Iberia pay them to the wire?
it was close at first. I think it was close at like halftime or something like that. I don't remember
Yeah,
exactly.
They got Westgate this week.
Yeah.
They got
So
St. Thomas More.
that's
coming
all
up.
going to change next
It's
year.
all going to change. Yeah, my friend. Yeah,
No,
Zachary's. This is why I did not put Zachary in because they have one less game.
Yeah.
The
That's fair.
cancellation with John Curtis is what's keeping.
That's why John. Yeah,
keeping them
Yeah,
off the
that
board
that
right now.
really
that really hurt him.
I think North DeSoto gonna start getting some rumblings in there too.
Mm-hmm. That would be fair. But the Soto's really good, just like they were last year.
I think we can't really.
Yeah, I mean, if I could put it together a top 10, we wouldn't be wrong here either way. But narrowing it down to a top 5,
So hard.
Yeah, that's hard.
I shook it up this week.
You
Yeah,
did.
you did.
You
I
did.
left Crow off. But
Mindy's,
Crow goes and scores 70 again.
Mindy's mad at you.
Yeah.
The outside looking in.
How good is Father when Southside
Oh,
is the 10th ranked team in the state?
You right?
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Yep. Such a short amount of time, and they've already built a football program.
Yeah,
that's-
they got a dynasty over there now, man.
Yeah.
With everything in 10 days.
that could be a nightmare long term as far as having to play against them.
Yeah.
So
You got to get a feel.
Game of the week, Caden said. Game of the week, Gina Bunky, OHS Cecilia. Who else?
you could put North DeSoto and Huntington.
Yeah.
Southside, Acadiana.
Mm-hmm. Santa Mont, Dutchtown. That's another big one. Tioga, Neville. I mean, I think
Call Holy Cross.
maybe.
Holy Cross. Hey, I have all our locals districts here. I'll save it for the recap show Friday night.
Okay.
Let's go pick some games.
Let's go.
Sounds good.
At this time, ladies and gentlemen, if you have you got 48 of it still with us, so if you would like to make some picks with the panel, go ahead and leave it in the chat below. And we'll get this rolling. 48 games to pick. If you didn't make the list this week, sorry about that.
Let's go.
Thursday night football, ladies and gentlemen. Bryson and Twan need to get you on the show.
Troy just said that's Carr's homecoming, so
Oh, that is Carr's homecoming?
against Holy Cross.
All right. The game that I get to cover with Alex tomorrow night, Crawley versus Livonia. The running back's back for Crawley this week. He's a game changer. Livonia's front seven could give them fits. It could be a defensive struggle. L-Town will be honoring the state runner-ups that night. Could they have an emotional night type of win? It's going to be difficult to pick this game. Who wins it? I mean, we're looking for PowerPoints if we're prepared for Livonia, correct, Gary?
Yeah. Let him know.
I saw Livonia a couple weeks back. Definitely a game that our boys should have won, and we kind of just we did it to ourselves. I haven't seen Crowley play yet this year.
They were missing the star running back last week with me and Gary covering him. He's definitely a difference maker.
You know, I'm gonna say Crowley in this game. I think they get the first win. It's just, I might be saying it a little bit out of just like and we should have beat them a couple weeks back, but
Okay.
I'm going to take Crowley in this one. Yeah.
Mr. Dusty?
Pick Gents.
Yeah, I'm going with Crowley too. I think they get their first win. You said the running back's a difference maker.
Yeah.
I think that's the difference in the game, so I'll go with the Gents.
Garrett?
Man,
Need those power points, huh?
I know we need them, but I think Crowley's going to beat them. I think with that running back coming back, I think it's going to make the difference. So I got to go with them.
I'll also add this: if Crowley has the threat of a passing game, then I think they'll win it fairly convincingly. Like I said, I don't know. I don't know if they have one.
I hope I call it good one.
I hope so too.
Holden?
Better offense. Livonia's starting to struggle scoring. I like Crowley.
Chris?
Livonia,
You like Livonia?
Mhm.
Power points.
not really. I don't get much, but they pretty good team. You know, that's like I like what I saw last week.
Okay.
They just ran against the.
Yeah. I have no pick here. I'll call the game tomorrow night live and under the lights.
Right.
Okay.
Bolton, Marchfield, give me a route across the board.
Yeah.
Oh, that's going to be by more than 30.
Yeah.
No shame against Fulton or anything like that, but that's going to be by more than 30.
Okay. Southern Lab of Voiles. Can the Voiles tricky offense keep this one close, or is Southern Lab too much athletes, too good to slow down?
So,
Surprisingly close, but Southern Lab wins.
Lab.
Surprisingly close.
I think Southern Lab puts up 60 if they want to.
What about y'all guys?
Southern Lab.
Lab.
Okay. Church Point, Ville Platte. Good old route, right?
Yeah.
I believe so.
Point.
I believe so.
Okay.
In the driver's seat.
They are in the driver's seat. It's going to come down to week 10.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The Quincy Notre Dame, another route.
Notre Dame.
Yep.
Notre Dame Pios.
Okay. Rain, Washington, Marion, another route.
Yep.
Rain probably puts up 50 in that game.
Okay. Jennings, Westlake. Westlake on the downhill spiral. Jennings, red hot. And they stay red hot this week.
They'll stay red hot.
Yep.
Jennings.
Yeah.
Jennings wins that.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay. Watch your volume. Hold. Franklin, New Catholic of New Iberia. This one's tricky. This one
Right.
This one can go a little bit either way here. I mean, Catholic of New Iberia, you would think they are the favorite, but Franklin always can scare a team on any given night. Who wins this one?
I thought, Franklin had played Lorville. I think it was either last week or 2 weeks ago.
Gave up a fourth quarter lead.
Right.
Yeah, I thought that Lorville was going to win that game fairly easily, and boy was I wrong. They had to fight tooth and nail to get that win in the end. I don't know if Franklin's going to necessarily end up getting a lead on Catholic New Iberia, but I do think that they can keep it close. That being said, I'm going to take Catholic.
Okay. Dusty?
Yep, Catholic.
Me too.
Going with the Panthers.
Gary?
Yeah.
Holden?
Catholic.
And I like Catholic of New Iberia also. That district race is getting tight with Ascension Episcopal.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Hey, how
Lorville
about,
might sneak in there too.
how about Friday Night Football? Who gets their first win this week? We got it on the panel here tonight, right up there. West St. Mary, Delcom, two teams eyeing that first victory of the season. Who gets it?
Coin flip, West St. Mary.
You like West St. Mary?
Yeah, I'm
Coin
going.
flip.
I'm going with the Wolfpack too. West St. Mary.
Gary?
Man, I have no idea.
Can't go
Something's
wrong.
gotta
either way. You can't go wrong either way.
You know, it's that, like I said, it's a coin flip. I'm going to go with West St. Mary also. Just gut feeling.
Holden?
Yeah, Delcom's struggling bad to score. I like West St. Mary.
Yeah.
Chris?
That good, huh?
Flip a coin, Chris. Flip
Chris,
a
I got
coin.
both helmets on my display. Why do you think the matchup made the paper tonight?
Because they both.
They support us.
They support us.
I'm going to go with the home team.
Home team?
Delcom.
Home team.
All right.
Homecoming for Delcom.
Chris, I couldn't agree with you more. The number 30, Mr. Bourgeois, will be the difference maker for Delcom. Panthers get a win at home, get their first win of the season.
And they say that's homecoming, so
Congrats to whichever team does get that first one too.
Yeah.
In advance.
Whoever wins, congratulations.
Hell yeah.
Many freshmen on that team. They played Lake Arthur close. That night I covered that game.
Yep.
well, we got another one.
Got another one, folks. Como Nish. Who gets their first win in that gauntlet of a district that they play in? Como Nish. Start us off, Enoch. Another matchup right here on the panel.
Not an easy choice. I'll go with the home team. Give me Nish.
Okay.
Got a feeling.
Yeah, I'm going Nish too.
Seems like the right choice
Me
to me.
too.
Gary says Nish. Holden.
Nish.
Holden says Nish.
Nish.
If this game was at Como, then I'd pick Como.
It's gonna be Nish across the board here. I think
Only taking Nish because they're at home.
I think they're gonna have to find some defense in the fourth quarter
Yeah.
to pull out a win here. Give me Nish. And we might all be burned.
Yeah,
on
we're
this
gonna.
one.
Yeah.
We'll either be
Watch
all
that.
good or we'll all be burnt.
Somebody be
Uh-huh.
one of those who say,
It ain't
well,
gonna
Hey,
affect.
if Como
Well,
proves us
burn
wrong, more power to you, man. Good on y'all if y'all end up proving us all wrong.
hey, this
Got
next
no problem
one,
with that.
Pickering versus Oakdale. Oakdale in the route.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oakdale's gonna score 60 plus.
Iota and Mamu.
Yeah.
Iota in the route.
Yes.
Yeah.
I hold in the route. Mamu might score a touchdown or two late.
Let's
JV.
see. Northwest against Pine Prairie. Northwest in the route.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Goose egg.
Okay. Opelousas Catholic homecoming against North Central. Opelousas Catholic in the route.
Yes.
Yep.
Big one.
Yes, sir.
I promise you, we're gonna have some games in a little while. That's gonna be
Some wowers.
some debating going on.
Oh yeah.
Beauchesne versus Brobridge. Brobridge in the route, Enoch.
Brobridge with the old.
Despite what everything
Keep it to
looks,
heart, damn it.
look, I don't mind being perfect and having the one loss just be Beauchesne because I will always pick them
Good.
no matter what.
Good.
They're
Me, Holden, and Gary gonna tie for first again.
hey, all I'm saying is this: I picked whenever I was here week 2. I don't know if that was a difference maker, but I did
Can't handle
win.
the truth.
Yeah, you did.
I ain't playing for Barry this week.
Look, hey, if I went like I said, if I went 40 or something or whatever and be 1, let me be wrong again. Let me be wrong with Beauchesne. I don't care.
You like Chris. Chris ain't gonna pick against some Tigers.
I'm not.
And I wouldn't blame you anyway, man.
Dusty.
You know.
I pick against Barry every time.
I'm going with Brobridge.
Me too.
Dusty, Brobridge, Gary Brobridge, Holden, Chris.
Brobridge.
Chris went with Beauchamp.
On Brobridge
I
myself.
need to start running the clock for week 10.
Centerville Vermilion Catholic. Vermilion Catholic. Once again, they lost a big senior class. They just reloaded.
You right.
Screaming Eagles.
Yeah.
Across the board.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Centerville might give them a little bit of hell in the first half, maybe.
Okay.
I think that's as good as it's going to get for Centerville.
I was impressed with that Vermilion Catholic blowout on Generette last week.
Yes.
Yeah,
That's all I needed to see.
yeah.
Northside, North Vermilion. This one's tricky.
Yes.
This one is tricky. Can Coach Carter go and get a road win here over a North Vermilion team that's just, how you say that, Chris? They're losing some close ball games. They're in almost every game.
Yeah.
Start us off, Enoch.
Give me the Vikings. I think they may track down to Maurice and they'll take care of business against North Vermilion. I don't know if pillow fight or defensive battle is the right word. I don't know which one's going to end up being the right word. I expect it to be fairly low scoring.
Okay. Dusty, how you see this one playing out?
Northside started out hot. They came back down to earth when they got into that tough district they're in. But I still think Northside's a pretty good team, so I'm gonna take Northside.
Okay.
Yeah, they certainly have been better than they have been the last 5 years.
Mr. Gary, tough pick here.
Yeah, I know. I'll be honest with you. I'm like this. I think that the Northside is better than what their record is. So I'm gonna go ahead and go with Northside.
Holden.
I like North Vermilion.
Okay. Chris.
I mean, I like Northside. They only facing LCA, St. Thomas More,
Correct.
Yep.
Westgate, Turlin. You know, so I'm over Northside, man.
Okay. I'm gonna roll with the home team here. I'm gonna take North Vermilion. Kinder South Bow. South Bow is improved. Kinder on a downward spiral right now. Can they turn it around this week? It's possible. Do they get the win?
They can and they will. I got the Yellow Jackets winning this game.
Okay.
Yeah, me too. Kinder on the road.
Gary?
This was a toss up for me, but I'm gonna give the edge to Kinder.
Holden?
I'm sorry, I can't do it. I'm not giving it to South Bow.
Okay.
They playing. Kinder's just playing bad ball right now.
Chris?
Kinder.
Kinder for Chris. And I'm going Kinder also. I'm going to give them another week. Hopefully they can get that win.
That's like been given St. Martinville another week.
Sacred Heart Westminster. This is a key district matchup here for both teams for power rankings wise also. We'll see how this one pans out, but you look at this matchup, who gets it?
Ooh, give me Westminster because they're at home.
Okay. I mean, they're
I
playing better football this year.
This was the game I was probably closest to changing my opinion on. I was like, nah, I'm gonna stick with it.
Dusty?
Yeah, I think this is a coin toss. Thought about it for a while. I'm going Westminster.
Gary?
I think home field advantage is going to be a key. I think Westminster's going to play because they're playing a lot better ball than I thought they were going to be doing this year.
They look better than they did last year for
They're
for
very
sure.
improved. Holden?
I went with Westminster also.
Okay. Chris?
Sacred Heart.
You like Sacred Heart, Chris?
Mm-hmm.
Chris, after the way they played St. Ed's last week,
That's what
I
I would
agree
do.
with you. And I'm going to pick Sacred Heart on the road myself.
Yeah.
I was close to changing my mind. I was really close.
Ladies and gentlemen, Portbury Basile. Oh, what a night it will be. Because Friday night at the recap show, you're either going to have this side or this side. Letting us hear about that matchup. I hate to call it a little rivalry for under the lights, but these two teams are family.
Yeah.
Sometimes family fights, Gary.
Yeah, you're right.
They do.
So we have to pick this game. It's a tough one to pick. A lot of Basile fans in the chat been waiting on this one. A lot of Portbury fans in the chat been waiting on this one. Week 8, and it's finally here. Can Portbury go on the road and knock off Basile, or can Basile celebrate a sweet homecoming win?
All things considering, give me Portbury.
Portbury on the road?
Give me Portbury.
Enoch.
All things considering, I'm gonna take Portbury.
Enoch never picks Portbury.
I was rooting for y'all against Livonia in week 1,
I'm not.
And they won.
I'm
and
not.
they won exactly.
I'm not picking against my alumni, so I'm going with the Red Devils.
Alumni,
I've only had
state
I've only
champions,
had 3
sitting at the
chances.
table tonight.
Yeah, I've only had 3 chances to pick Portbury games, so it's the one that makes sense.
Gary?
Makes sense.
I just have a feeling that Portbury's going to do it. Going with the Devils.
Holden.
Portbury.
Chris?
This is where I separate from y'all. I'm gonna go with Basile.
Basile for Chris?
All right. I love Duck Roast's comment. They gotta love that at Taco Bell.
Yes, indeed.
Oh man.
And they're getting ready to have a Chick-fil-A and a Whataburger.
I don't like going to Portbury at all, but I might stop by for a Whataburger. Who knows?
Don't worry, they actually were talking about making something over there too. I hate to say it that way, but it's true.
Are you looking ahead to Week 10 district championship game against East Beauregard?
Better not be.
Better not be. Better not be.
When Portbury is fighting for their playoff lives.
Yeah.
Portbury's going to throw absolutely everything that they have in these next 3 weeks. They want that playoff spot, so
Well,
When they're fighting for their playoff lives, Gary,
that's when it matters the most.
when adversity strikes,
they have a shot. Like I said, this is the closest thing that they've been in years to make the playoffs. So I think it's going to be all or nothing. Put it in there. That's why you play the game. Get it on the field and do it.
He owns his heart.
No.
No,
Go with your heart, Jordy.
I'm going my
Go with
head.
your heart.
If you look at him.
Go with your heart, man.
I'm
It
looking
doesn't.
at both
It does
teams.
not hurt to go with
It's
your
gonna
heart.
be. I'm gonna tell you right now.
Win or lose, you
It's
won't
gonna
regret
be
it.
less than a touchdown.
I'm picking Basil to win the game.
Ah.
Pick. That's your pick. Go for it.
I did.
Okay.
Nah, I gotta respect that in a certain way, but damn. Why don't you go with your heart on that one?
Damn it yourself too.
Touche.
Lafayette Bar. Good game here. Could be track meet or could be ugly. Who wins
I'm gonna go track meet and give me the Bucks. They're gonna swing their sword and they're gonna win this game.
Yep,
Yeah.
I'm going with Borb also.
Yeah, I'm going with Board myself.
Board.
Yeah, I'm a roll bar.
H-C-J. Bar. I like Bar. Iowa Lake Charles College Prep. Can we see a winner take all next week with St. Louis and Iowa, or does Lake Charles College Prep still stay in contention for that district title this week? Iowa Lake Charles College Prep. Who wins?
Over under is probably gonna be under 60 points. This game should be pretty close. Give me the Yellow Jackets. Give me Iowa.
Dusty?
Yep, Iowa.
Garrett?
Me too. Iowa.
Iowa.
Chris?
Prep.
They burnt you last week.
They don't burn me.
They ain't gonna burn you twice, huh?
Mm-mm.
I like Iowa. I want to see a winner take all next week.
I mean, they got to fight for the playoffs.
Yeah,
They do.
fight and stay in that contention.
Mm-hmm.
Iowa Hawkeye. Erav Abbeville, offense, defense in this one. Who wins it?
I almost want to say throw the record books away again.
You have to.
Man, give me Abbeville because they're at home.
Dusty?
I actually changed my pick on this one. I had Erath circled, but I ended up switching it to Abbeville, so I'll stick with Abbeville.
Gary?
Me too. Abbeville.
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 Would not be surprised if Erath would pull off this upset though.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it wouldn't.
Erath almost they almost banked it in on me last week. They almost proved me right.
They do not want to get in a catch-up
Erath
type of
almost
game.
proved me right.
Abbeville?
It wouldn't surprise me if Erath
Yeah, I got
won.
Abbeville.
Yep.
I said they don't want to get in a catch-up type of game
Oh, okay.
if Erath strikes with the big play. So
Yeah.
we'll see if they can control the line of scrimmage.
Yep.
Lake Arthur Welsh rivalry game here, and you look at this one. It's game of the week for the news station out there. Who wins this one? Welsh has won 5 in a row. Can they make it 6?
Yeah, I think they're gonna make it 6. Give me Welsh.
Dustin,
Yeah, Welsh. I don't think it's gonna be too close.
Garrett,
Welsh.
Holden,
Hounds.
Chris,
Welsh.
and Jordan. Welsh across the board. St. Louis against South Lafourche. St. Louis got to hit the road here and take on a game South Lafourche football team, but I don't think it matters.
No, I think St. Louis.
I think St. Louis is too good. I think the defense is loaded, and I think they go get a win here, setting up a district championship next week. What do y'all think?
Yes, sir.
I'm in
Yeah.
agreement. St. Louis should win this game. Probably 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, I'm picking St. Louis too.
Okay, Gary,
St. Louis.
Holden,
Yeah, St. Louis.
St. Louis.
Chris, and St. Louis across the board.
Mm-hmm.
DeRitter Eunice, huge implications for that district race. Who wins this one?
This one's for Coach Josh. I'm taking the Bobcats.
Bobcats. Okay.
I think this is gonna be a great game, but I'm going with Eunice.
Yeah. Home field. Me too.
Gary, Eunice.
Yeah.
Eunice is playing their
We're
best
waiting
ball
for
right
a
now.
helmet.
I like Eunice.
Yeah, Coach Josh, hook us up. We need a helmet.
Chris?
Man, it's hard to beat Eunice and Eunice.
Yeah, we've got burned a couple times this year.
And the mosquitoes out too.
I think they feed them over there.
Oh, man.
Oh, they might.
They got
They
a
might.
ditch right behind the visitor side.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Eunice.
Eunice across the board. Bobcats stay rolling. St. Ed's Catholic of Pointe-Coupee, tough matchup here in that district race. Catholic of Pointe-Coupee trying to stay in the race. St. Ed's trying to set up a Week 10 district championship game with OC. Can we see that happen if St. Ed's goes on the road and wins this game?
I'm gonna pick St. Ed's in this one. I've been pretty impressed with what they've done this year, and I think it's gonna carry on this week. Them and OC, that's gonna be a game I'm looking forward to for sure.
Gearing up, huh?
Oh yeah, gearing up. They won't overlook this game though. Catholic Point could be still dangerous.
Dustin, the running back for the Blue Jays goes off.
I think he does, but I still think I think they're going to lose. I'm going with Catholic Point Capee.
Good pick, my friend. Gary?
I don't want to pick this one, but I have to. I think St. Ed's is going to do just enough in a close game.
Holden?
Don't hate me, Seth, but I like Point Capee this week. I think their passing game is going to be the difference.
Chris?
And
The key to stop Johnson. Can St. Ed's make enough plays in the air?
they couldn't stop OC running back last week.
She threw a lot too.
Yeah. If Point Capee can throw the ball, they win. I'm gonna go with St. Ed.
Okay. I'm gonna roll with St. Ed's, Gary. I'm trying to set up a Week 10 winner take all.
That's what I'm looking forward to. I'd like to see that myself.
That game's gonna be here.
It's gonna be at St. Ed's.
That will be covered.
Sorry, if they move it to Saturday, we can.
That's a good little split. I think was it just me and Holden, the only two on Catholic?
Yes. Can you slay the Giant? Can you knock down St. Martinville? This record does not define how good of a football team they actually are. Kaplan off to their best start in recent memory at 6-1. You look at this Pirate team, it's homecoming night. You wait till week 8. You knew it was going to be a special night. You add all that formula and try to knock off St. Martinville. This might be their best shot. This might be their best shot in recent years. Can they do it?
I don't think so. St. Martinville, 3 touchdowns.
Whoa.
Dusty Mac.
Yeah.
How you follow that?
I agree. I think it's going to be St. Martinville, and I don't think about 10 or more.
Okay. Gary?
I don't know. I have a feeling that I think Ascension's going to give a home field advantage. I'm going to go with
Ooh. You look at the wrong game.
Wrong game. St. Martinville and
that.
Kaplan.
I'm sorry. Okay, Kaplan. I'm going with Kaplan.
Kaplan, Gary, leaning with the Pirates. Yeah. Holden?
I like St. Martinville. I think Kaplan is they're good. They're not scoring a lot, and I just think St. Martinville's had a tough schedule. I like St. Martinville.
Chris?
I'm going with Kaplan. St. Martinville done burnt me too many times.
You like Kaplan, Chris?
Yeah.
How about our first split of the night, y'all? I'm taking the Pirates. I believe in what Coach is doing over there, and I think he can maybe pull in a huge upset this week.
It's at home.
I don't see it,
You know
but
why?
by all means.
I'm trying to set up a Week 10 winner take all.
Good luck with that.
Awesome.
You might be right,
You
but good
playing
luck
for
with
the
that.
Russo Trophy and a district title?
Yeah.
Go for it. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Good luck. St. Martinville is a tall task.
Yup.
Lowerville, Ascension Episcopal. Lowerville, big time comeback win last week. Ascension Episcopal looks like the favorites in this district. Who wins this matchup of the battle of the 5 and 2s?
Lowerville's my favorite team, not named
Super
Beauchamp.
dog of the week?
Yeah.
College
If
game.
you want to call it a super dog of the week, hell yeah, I'm taking Lowerville.
Do you like Lowerville?
Oh yeah.
Okay, my friend.
They're my favorite team, not named Beauchamp, and I tend to root for them probably more
Bill
than
Barrett's
almost
your
anyone else.
favorite team.
Where's that my favorite team?
Everybody else is.
I got a Lowerville.
I mean, my dad's a Lowerville alum,
I got
so
a-
I always
I got
pull for
a
him.
Lowerville alum in the chat right now.
I see
just
that,
picked
Mr. Bryson.
AES. See, he didn't do like you. He didn't pick Beauchamp just because he's an alum.
I mean, no, but in all seriousness, I do think Lowerville has what it takes to win this game. I'm not doing it just because, they're one of my favorites and my dad went there. I do think Lowerville's actually good enough to win this.
Justin?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a good game, but I'm going with Lowerville too.
I love that comment. Ascension Episcopal
Back to
ain't
back.
even in Ascension.
Gary?
I'm going Ascension.
Okay.
Yeah, I think home field's going to give them an edge.
Holden?
I like Ascension also.
Chris?
Ascension.
I'm going Ascension Episcopal too. I think they're playing better as of late. But Lorville proved they're never out of the fight after last week.
Never.
Right.
Two
You're right.
touchdown lead in the fourth, go 21 unanswered.
Don't count them out.
Oberlin Elton in a tight four-man race right now. It's a four-way tie, Chris, in that 1A district. This one's going to eliminate somebody this week. Oberlin Elton. Who wins this matchup?
I'm actually going to change my pick. I'm
You
going to
can't change your pick now that you're sitting down.
taking Oberlin now.
You like Oberlin?
I'm going to take Oberlin.
Okay, my friend.
I thought, yeah, Oberlin. I'm going to stick by it.
Okay, Dusty?
I'm going Oberlin also.
I have
Gary?
no idea.
Gary got no idea, huh?
I think this is going to be a tight game, but I think Oberlin's got a little too much, so I'm going to go with Oberlin. Sorry, man.
Holden?
My bad. I've been trying to figure out this other game. I like Eldon this week.
Elton this week for Holden. Okay, Chris?
Yeah, I like Elton too.
After last week's burning of the century when Elton knocked off East Bow by 30, I got to go with Elton again this week at home. I think they're still in the race.
Okay.
It's going to be a tight. I think it's going to be a close ball game, maybe overtime. I don't know, but it's going to be tough.
How about Amite in Albany? A couple of two-loss teams meeting this week. Huge stakes on the line. Talk to me about this one. Amite knocked off undefeated team last week. Can they knock off Albany this week on the road?
I like Albany. I do. I've seen both sides play them a couple times. I like what last time we played them 2 years ago. Albany was really young, and now they're starting to see the fruits of their labor as far as building that team up. With that being said, give me Amy. Amy wins this one by 10.
Okay. They don't kick field goals over there.
They just pound it.
Hey, meet can't pick
Enough
pick against the Warriors.
38-28, and then it's just 2-point conversions. That's what I was thinking.
Gary?
I'm going Amy too. I think I just like them. I always did.
Keep in mind, Elite beat the crap out of Pine, and Albany lost to Pine.
Right.
Give me a meat.
Football math, it sometimes works and it sometimes doesn't.
Chris?
Amy, same thing. I saw with the Pine thing.
Okay. Amite across the board. 5-2 Central Catholic at 6-1 Hanson Memorial.
Give me Central Catholic in this game. I believe Central Catholic won this
Before you
game.
go any further, Holly's lock of the week is what? 6-1.
Yeah.
Can it get to 7-1 if she picks Central Catholic over Hanson Memorial?
I forgot to wear my shirt too.
Oh man.
She will.
That's her lock. That's her pick. I mean, that's her.
Holly's lock of the week is Central
Holly's lock of the
Catholic,
week,
and
Central Catholic over Hanson Memorial.
She's not picking easy games no more.
She's going for the hardest.
It's 5-2 over 6-1 this week for a lock. Are you locking it in?
yeah, I'm gonna take Central Catholic. I think Holly's gonna go 7-1 on this.
Tough matchup.
Got faith.
I'm going Central Catholic too.
Are you locking it in, Gary?
Yeah.
Holden, are you locking it in?
Central, baby.
Chris, are you locking it in?
Yeah, I'm gonna lock it in.
I'm locking it in. Holly's lock of the week, ladies and gentlemen. Central Catholic over Hanson Memorial. Do not let her down.
Everybody
Yeah.
pick Central.
Yeah.
They're rooting for you,
That's the
Central.
only game I want to see. That's gonna hit.
Oof, that's like putting it on red.
That's like man.
Mm-hmm.
Kentwood Slaughter Trotter rules too much.
Yep.
They playing under the water tower.
I was just about to say,
Look out.
Gary's favorite team's taking this one.
That's right.
Okay. Ruston versus West Ouachita. Ruston too much.
Oh yeah, they're
Yeah, give me Ruston.
I'm going Ruston, but I
Give
don't
me
know about it
Ruston.
too much. I think it's going to be tight.
Tight? Oh, I don't think so.
no.
Well, I say tighter than
Tighter.
It's not going to be
28 tighter.
Yeah, it's not going to be a.
By 28 tighter, right?
No, I don't know about that. Maybe 14, 21. Something like
I'm gonna go. I'll go 18. Not quite a blowout, but it'll approach
We're
that.
gonna start doing spreads. That's what we're gonna start doing.
Yeah, no kidding, huh?
You in,
Be
you
fun.
in charge.
If we can,
that.
if you can find a reliable way to get,
What? Are
get
you
the spreads,
It's easy.
if you can find a way to get a reliable spread for every game, go for it.
They got the
They got the
website
website
up.
for it.
Which
They
website?
got it.
I'll show you after we get off.
All right, sounds good because I'm interested.
That's just a
Yeah.
lot to write down. Dusty, who you like?
I would
Oh,
gladly.
Oh, Rustin.
Might be able to put some money on that.
Hold. Chris?
Rusty.
Okay, okay. Turling St. Thomas More rivalry game here. Who wins it?
Cougs.
Oh gosh, that's a crazy
Cougars
question.
at home?
I don't want
Sorry.
to. I don't want to be so dismissive of Turlings because they are a
Sorry.
good team.
Sorry.
But after last week's
Cougar
season,
Stadium?
man, yeah, Cougars.
Okay.
It's tough to come back
Sorry
and
to
be
say
pissed
this,
off on
in
a game
route.
like that.
Are you ready for Week 10 LCA STM?
Oh yeah.
Yes, I am.
Oh yeah.
All right. Speaking of LCA, they play Westgate this week. Can this one stay close? Is this a trap game for LCA, knowing that's a tough environment to go into?
Just think of them injuries at Westgate. No, I like the
I think
LCA.
LCA is gonna
I think
totally.
Dwan Johnson.
Yeah. I think
LCA wins this game, but Westgate's they're gonna give them some hell.
Keep it respectful for a while.
They'll keep it respectable for a while. LCA, I think, pulls away in the fourth quarter, but I think Westgate's gonna give them 3 quarters of hell.
So when do they move into your top 3 if they put up 62 again?
Oh, LCA is probably gonna be two. They're gonna be number 2 or number 1. They're gonna be number
In
2 or
your
number
top
1.
5 rankings next week?
Yeah, probably so.
Westgate and
Hmm?
Westgate and Turner Field already.
But yeah,
Yeah.
LCA.
Trevor's been-
Turtles.
Let's go.
My dog said Westgate gets out recruited this week.
I don't know who's running duck roast, but
oh,
man,
wow.
he's awesome.
Hey, you talk all that mess. Now you got to back it up this week.
Oh, you right. I'm sorry.
6-0 D'Arbonne Woods versus 7-0 Calvary Baptist. Karma,
What did he say?
you don't want to know.
Oh, I want to know. Tell me, please.
He said, you got to cheat.
To win.
Oh, as far as recruiting goes?
Yeah,
That's why the private schools are so good, because they cheat.
That's exactly.
Oh.
On live air?
That's a quote on live air.
Ballsy, I'll say that. And if he wins, man,
George, you got my pick,
they
George.
win. Oh
You
man.
picked STM, huh?
L-
You picked LCA, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, LCA. Okay.
In a way, I want that coach to be right, but I know that Calvary Baptist is going to win that
This
game.
is Calvary Baptist that we're talking about.
I know, that's exactly what I'm saying.
Yeah, he sure did add fuel to the fire, and he had to play a Catholic school the next week. One of the best.
One of the best in the state. Oh my God!
Oh, I'm gonna keep my eye on that score, just for the hell of it.
I don't think the dogs are coming off this week, Chris.
Mm-mm.
Dustin,
No, Calvary Baptist.
Darren,
Yeah.
Calvary by 30 plus.
Chris.
Yeah, Calvary.
You opened some worms on that one, my friend.
And if he wins,
Oh, if he
We'll
wins,
have hands on our heads, but
God,
I don't see it.
I want to see
I
the
don't
blowback
see
for
it.
that.
Jesus
I
Christ.
don't see it.
Terrebonne, East St. John. I think East St. John is setting up a Destrehan matchup down the road, correct?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Okay. I like East St. John.
Yes.
Yeah, I took East St. John as well.
Staying undefeated.
Yes,
It's gonna be a
sir.
close game, I think. Terrebonne's lost to 2 really good teams, Destrehan and
They got to lose to a third really good one. this
yeah,
week.
they also have somebody else. It's gonna
Terrebonne,
be, somebody good.
Last week when we put them on the panel.
No, they lost to Destrehan last week.
Destrehan last week, yes.
Yeah, they lost to somebody. I think
That's
the
a big game.
first.
Yeah, that is going to be one of the biggest games in that
when,
district.
when East
But,
St. John and Destrehan.
East St. John's defense is
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I have a friend that works at the plant in LaPlace over there. He said, man, them guys be out there, and they right there. They bet, man. They
They throw
they throwing some money out there, man.
yeah.
Okay.
Could be a situation where Terrebonne could give them 3 quarters of hell like Westgate, but East St. John too much.
Okay. North Dakota Huntington, 6-1 versus 5-2.
It's a district game.
Oh man, this one's gonna be really good. I think because Huntington's no slouch.
I
But
mean, you look at this one,
Especially
points are
the-
galore.
Yeah,
yeah,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I'm gonna
What
take
about
North
Remember I
DeSoto.
told y'all last week, North
Think
DeSoto was averaging over 50 points a game.
Right. And
Right.
I think they're gonna keep going.
So was Acadiana, and then they got shut out.
Oh, hey, I said in the chat that John Curtis was gonna win that game fairly easily.
John Curtis took it to the house.
I think they were what,
I called that.
second or first in the state in points scored.
Well, you can't
They were
drive the
second.
ball down in
They
the
were
red
second.
zone and give it to them
North
all
DeSoto?
the time.
Yes, sir.
You can't
Dustin?
do that.
North DeSoto.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sorry. I kind of had to.
North DeSoto, yes.
Had to kind of gloat a little bit because I called that one right
Yeah, DeSoto.
last week.
North DeSoto across the board. Depends on if it's snowing or not, but North DeSoto.
It's a North Dakota reference. I love it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Karen Crow,
Maybe.
Sam Houston, 7-0 versus 6-1. You're talking about take the over on this one because both offenses are really good. I think Karen Crow's defense might be a little bit better in this game. It might be a 68-40 type of game, but I like Crow.
Yeah, I like the Crow too, y'all.
Crow's going undefeated.
The Crow.
Crow's going 10-0. Crow's going
They're
10-0.
setting up that week 10 thing.
I like the Crow also.
And the Week
Yeah.
10 game for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, he is special.
Crow's taking. Crow's gonna take this one. They're gonna go 10-0 to go into the playoffs. Undefeated.
Where we at? Game number 33,
Yeah,
guys?
33.
Yep.
Tioga versus Neville, 6-1 versus 6-1. Can Neville make it 54 straight district wins?
Yes, sir. Tioga's good, but they're not. I don't think they can match up for 4 quarters against Neville. Give me Neville.
Yeah, I agree with that. Neville.
Yeah.
You want to talk about an easy district?
Bro, I saw that today.
What y'all bad?
Man.
I wish Port Barry was in the easy district.
Man, dude, you see that district?
Ditto.
I mean, they won.
Port Barry could seriously compete in that
Hell no,
district
we
without Neville.
But
Seriously.
Defeating that.
I think Harry gonna start getting them gears right in Port Barry.
Oh, I think Peabody's up and coming, but
Yeah, people should be
Neville
pretty
don't
good in a
lose
couple
at
years.
home. Give me Neville.
Man, you get intimidated when you're walking in stadium at Neville.
Absolutely.
You see all them banners in there, man. You down 7 points already.
Yeah, Neville might not even be in that district next year.
Look
Well, they
who's been
definitely
bar.
are.
5-8.
Yep. Go Stros.
Let's go Rangers.
Hey, whoa. Go Stros.
Come a Cubs.
Let's go Yankees. Yankees.
Where are we at?
Devils,
34.
Devils, 33. Now we're going to 34.
How many guys we got here?
6.
6. 1, 2, 3,
H,
4, 5,
C,
6.
J. Who am I missing? E.
Enoch,
E.
Dusty.
Oh, I'm missing Gary.
Yeah. Boy, you done forgot about me. See that?
Oh man, that's that right next to
versus
him.
Zachary, guys. Coach proved last week that what coaching can do in a short period of time, but I still think he's 1 or 2 years away.
Correct.
But great to see him have Central back in contention. Broncos might move into the top 5 next week after a big win over Central.
Yeah,
I'm going to, Zachary.
I think it's
Yep, Zachary. Central's going to be scary in time, but this is
I'd say
Crazy.
this is the learning experience year.
Crazy to say, but Zachary's another quiet, non-talked about team too.
Correct.
Maybe it's just because we're not in BR.
Well, that John Curtis game that got canceled, you can't really.
No, you can't really judge him.
Yeah.
Right, it's hard to.
They blew out West Monroe.
Threw him out.
Yeah.
Baby. Brother Martin Rummel, this is a good one in the Catholic League this week. Who wins this one?
Brother Martin, close.
Brother Martin, close win?
Brother Martin wins this one by 6.
Sure.
If I had to guess.
Yeah, I like Brother Martin.
I'm going with the Crusaders, Brother Martin.
Yeah, I'm going with Brother Martin myself.
Brother Martin.
Yeah, went out of order. Gary.
No.
I took Brother Martin too.
Yeah, well,
Holden.
Brother Martin.
Chris.
Brother Martin.
Brother Martin. Rummel lost their running back last week versus St. Aud. Enough for me. Brother Martin.
Right in with the scoops.
Guys, the most worried of the 7-0s this week that are not playing the 7-0 team is Santa Mont. And they get Dutchtown this week. Could Santa Mont go on the road and knock off Dutchtown? Won't be easy.
Chris is rooting for him.
Tough task.
I'll say it like this.
And Santa might go 8-0, my friend.
I'll say it like this. Santa Mata was the team that I'm most concerned with
Okay.
as far as that goes.
Okay.
With that being said, Duck Roast, this is for you. Santa Mata goes to 8-0.
You know what I put down for this one? We will find out this week how good this Santa Mata team is.
Mm-hmm.
Is it a really good 8-0 team?
Yeah, I agree. But, I mean, I agree that we're going to find out how good they are. But
Santa Mata.
I'm going with Dutchtown.
You like Dutchtown?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Man, I don't know. Who did Dutchtown lose to?
Walker by 1 point.
Oh, no.
And Walker's
Walker's
only
good.
lost one game this year.
Here, give me a candy.
Walker, talk about a sleeper team, huh?
On that pick.
A lot of people are talking about
Walker is very good. They lost to Ponchatoula 6-0, I think. That's their only loss.
And they're playing
That's
past
rough.
Dutchtown. Give me Dutchtown.
Don't pick St. Amant because Braden said.
Huh?
Oh, I did it for Duck Roast.
Don't pick them. Braden, you picked Northwest and stuff last week.
Colton?
I like Dutchtown. Their schedule, what they've done
Chris?
against good teams.
Man, that's a
You need PowerPoints, Chris.
but that's a rivalry game.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. That's what I'm saying.
When they play each other and they play East Ascension, that's all rivalry game.
Yeah,
Okay.
you take that record and you throw it in the trash can.
Yeah. I'm gonna roll with Saint Amant on this.
Okay, Chris. Duck roast or roost.
Duck Roost.
Duck Roost.
Yeah.
Say Duck Roast.
Roost.
Roost.
Duck Roost
Roost.
Sports Network, one of the best in the business. I'm picking them this week, but I expect a helmet before the end of the season. How's that?
Yeah, we want to.
Oh, yeah.
If
The
we
Santa
can
Mont
get
helmet up.
a
Santa Mont.
Santa Mont helmet on the show, might not pick against them the rest of the way.
Huh?
Picking them this week, Chris.
Me too.
Yep. Picking the Gators.
6-1 Holy Cross, 6-0 Etna Carr. Big time football game. Holy Cross got receivers that could give Carr trouble. But I don't know if Holy Cross got any DBs that can slow down Carr's receivers. This is going to be a good one. Who wins this one?
Give me Edna Carr. I think this game will be pretty close. Holy Cross has shown that they can hang in there with the best and win in the Catholic League, and Edna Carr is always going to be the standard as far as New Orleans football goes, in my opinion, anyway.
Carr University.
Edna Carr University, exactly. Year in and year out, they're usually almost always the best team in the New Orleans area. Big test for Holy Cross, but I do think Edna Carr will take it.
Yeah.
I think this will be respectable.
Dusty?
Carr at home, huge game. I think it's homecoming, so I'm going with Carr.
You know, Carr has had some slow starts this year, but they've always finished strong.
Kind of like Georgia.
You remember that freaking, what was it, 3-2 or 5-2 type of game we were watching at the LSU game that time, and it was 7-7 with Jesuit last week at halftime. I mean, a lot of slow starts for Carr, but they finish strong every time.
Right.
Gary, if they start slow against Holy Cross, will they get beat?
I don't think so. I think I'm going with Carr. But I don't think they're gonna. I think they're gonna be amped up for this game. I think they're gonna know what they need to do.
Okay, Holden?
Remember, everybody thought the slow start and everything, they was going to do that with
Warren Eastman?
Warren Easton. I'm not picking against Carr. That's the first time I picked against Carr in like 6 years.
Cool. It bit us all, too.
It bit us all.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they also played St. Aug close, 19-7.
That's always close, though.
Yeah.
That game is
Look at
always
Holy Cross
close.
blew out St. Aug.
Yep.
Yeah, Carr, man, they got athletes to match him. The receivers that Holy Cross got. His homecoming, they ain't gonna have no slow start for homecoming. So I'm roll with the.
Cross is going to score, though.
Yeah, they're gonna
Oh,
score.
yeah.
They got
They're gonna make it a game, but I
Yeah.
mean, Carr they're not gonna start off slow.
I like Carr, 35-20.
Quiz. You had them as your top 5 team Cross last week. They beat Carr.
Right back
They're
in.
right back in it.
Right. Most definitely. I agree.
Man.
I like Carr by 7.
Yeah.
I like that too.
I say 8. We don't kick field goals at the University of Carr.
No, you're right.
That's true. We forget
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
36-28.
Carr has more athletes than
Could
Holy
be
Cross has
42-35,
scholarships.
something like that.
Damn.
Oh wow.
I don't know. Holy Cross got some athletes, man.
They do.
Got a really good receiving core. Acadiana versus Southside this week. This is bad blood brewing after last year. Southside took that district from them. Now, in order for Southside to get back into the district race, they have to beat Acadiana this week, and Acadiana has to beat Karen Crow week 10. Keep that in mind. If Acadiana beats Southside this week, it sets up a week 10 winner-take-all, in my opinion, with Karen Crow. Or whenever they play, week 9.
I think it's week 9.
Okay.
Week 9.
Acadiana, they got a bad taste in their mouth. Southside, their only loss came a close loss to Karen Crow this year.
Mm-hmm.
Does Southside get them 2 years in a row?
I'm gonna go bold here. I say yes. I think that John Curtis loss is gonna be. I think it probably deflated the team. They're probably gonna come out slow, and it'll be too little, too late at that point. I got to go with Southside.
Okay, Dustin.
Yeah, I'm going Southside. I mean, they were a minute away from being undefeated. Acadiana hasn't looked as dominant as they usually are, so I'm going with the Sharks.
Gary.
That's a tough game, bro.
That is a tough game to call, man. Coach Fontenot's doing such a great job at Southside, but Acadiana coming off of a loss.
Yep.
And just to let people know,
Jesus.
they weren't just dominated by John Curtis. Acadiana had like 3 or 4 turnovers that game.
In the red zone.
I know a few of them weren't. It was on the opening drive.
Yeah, but they had a couple of them in the red zone. So I'm gonna tell you.
Can't do that against Southside either.
No, I'm saying don't let that last week loss like fool some people.
I'm sorry.
Right.
I'm going to Acadiana.
Right. You're gonna have to play more
go with
discipline to beat
Acadiana.
Southside anyway. So. You're right.
I'm going with the Veer. They both run
They
the
both
Veer.
run the Veer.
Oh man!
Boy,
Before the season started, remember I told y'all I picked Southside for my district champs. It's just hard to see Acadiana losing back-to-back weeks, man. I like Acadiana.
Chris.
I initially picked Acadiana.
Me too until last week.
Well, I didn't pick them last week.
No, I had a
Me
pick
neither.
this week until last week.
Oh yeah.
Wing T versus the
Yeah, the
Bears.
Wing T versus the Veer.
I do love the beer.
You know what?
Go for it.
I'm gonna roll with Southside this week.
Okay. Chris, I like it. I'm going with you. Southside, 2 years in a row, Gary.
Hey,
It's
Gary.
possible.
We
got it, bro. It's all good.
All right. OHS Cecilia, Part 2. Thank you for the helmets. It's great to see this matchup on the table this week.
Small helmet.
Well, I mean,
Only a freshman.
maybe we'll take what we can get. District championship on the line, absolutely. This week, live on VSN, OHS Cecilia. You got Diesel versus Ford in this matchup. Anybody want to talk about it?
I do.
Go for
I'll
it.
start it off.
Go for
This is gonna be a battle.
This game is going to go one of two ways.
Okay.
I think if this game stays low scoring, like it was last year, Opelousas has the advantage.
Okay.
Yeah, Duck Roast.
If
Bruce. Oops.
Duck Roost.
Don't at me.
If this game
Definitely gonna add you.
turns into a shootout, this definitely falls in Cecilia's favor.
Okay.
Cecilia has scored on average about 48 points so far this year.
Can't be stopped.
Can't be stopped. This is nothing personal,
There you go,
Chris. I'm gonna take Cecilia.
You made that comment, Chris?
I think Solari's
Troy.
a difference maker.
Let's see.
Hey, put it on. There it
It's
is.
on.
There it is.
Yeah, nigga,
And
come
it's
on.
not holding this time, so.
It fits, so you gotta.
It fits.
No, it's not gonna fit you.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
He ain't put a helmet on tonight.
Sure does.
You know what that means.
I don't know.
3-way tie again next week.
So you like who?
I'm taking Cecilia.
Cecilia, okay.
I think Solari, difference maker late, gets the win. I think this game will be close, like last year. But I think it's going to be more points, a lot more points.
Cecilia caught my attention early in the year. They just seem to be rolling, so I'm going with the Bulldogs at home.
Gary.
Oh, jeez. Man, I like both of these teams really, really good.
I mean, I had to make that freaking pick earlier, so this one ain't even bad.
Flip a coin.
I got one.
Throw it here.
All right.
Holden, who you got?
I had Opelousas circled earlier,
Okay.
but
There you
this
go.
week I'm rolling with the Tigers. I lied, baby. Not
Oh,
so
my
fast, my
goodness.
friend.
Oh, on OHS.
Let's go.
Okay.
Damn.
You
Chris,
flip
where you
one
going,
yet?
Chris?
No, I gave it to
All right.
So, flip it.
Heads,
OHS.
OHS, tails,
Yep.
Cecilia.
Right.
Heads.
OHS.
All right, there you go.
OHS's schedule, I give them the advantage over Sicilian, and that's some good teams that OHS lost. I
Chris,
like OHS.
who do you think wins this game, Chris?
We win. OHS winning.
I
We-
knew that.
No,
I knew
we
that.
don't.
I knew that answer.
Yeah.
You didn't have to answer that. You could have
We-
just marked it down.
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah.
we put up 39 points per game this year.
Okay.
The opposing teams, right at, I think it was like 18 points per game. I mean, we go listen. Like Holden just asked me, what's this shit you got? This and that. But like,
Gotta
they
win
need
in
to
the
be worried about
trenches,
us.
man.
They got to worry about us.
Run the football.
Yeah. I mean, so
You
it's
know
gonna be
Cecilia's going to want to go fast.
yeah, and the thing about that, we can keep up with it. You know,
Slow that thing down, hand it forward.
Zach threw 4 touchdowns last week. You know, so I mean, it's gonna be a good game. The trenches,
Mark down
trenches,
Chris for Cecilia.
the trenches.
Yeah, right.
Might be some scouts at that game.
I think it's going to be crazy.
How
I
about,
really do.
how about we split it here? We'll have 3 one side, 3 the other side.
That's fine.
That's cool?
Yeah.
You taking,
I'm taking Cecilia at home.
all right.
But just because I thought it was just going to be me and Chris on OHS.
You expect Gary
I
Holden.
expect Gary to hit heads.
Yeah.
You flipped it.
Yeah.
He flipped it. It just landed on
Yeah.
that.
Like Braden's
And I was
comment,
leaning
check the
that way
coin, you bought a
anyway,
two-headed
but
one.
It just finished it off.
Double-headed coin.
Yeah. it might
Nah,
be.
I mean, I don't have a vested interest on either one of these teams. I'm not rooting for one or the other, so whoever wins,
I'm
wins.
just a fan of football.
Yeah.
7-0 Gina versus 7-0 Bunky. You better bring in some bleachers. You better bring in a lot for the concession stand, because this is going to be what they call a sellout in high school football, standing room only. Let the good times roll. Your number 1 ranked team in the state of Louisiana, the number 6th ranked team in the state of Louisiana, Big Game Brewing. You got Gina's offense, led by their talented running back. You got Bunky's defense. Only what I said on my thing, 11 points per game this year, 3 shutouts. It's going to be one of those that's going to be a night to remember, my friend, Mr. Gary Swallow.
You're right. This is going to be awesome.
You're going to be there calling the
It's
game.
in Bunky, Mindy.
I'm
Just
going to be
let you
there
know.
calling the game. Holden's going to be there running the clock on the computer, being the producer. So we have no picks here tonight, but you 3 guys do. I mean, we could talk keys to victory. That's about it. Gary, keys to victory for Gina and Bunky. Go.
Whoever controls the line of scrimmage and opens the hole.
Line of scrimmage will win this game.
Line of scrimmage will win it because that's where the holes are going to be open and those running backs are going to shoot through.
Holden,
Look out.
keys to victory. Turnovers?
I won't even say turn, man.
Keep it clean.
Feed off the emotion?
Yeah, I think like Brayden said last week. You know, I felt like that game was a little bit close. I think they were looking ahead last week.
Yeah, that could be.
Again, but man, this is a big game, big crowd. You're gonna have a lot of people there. Just don't start off slow. You can't, and just rely what's guiding you here, your defense.
Gina going for their 4th straight district title. Bunky ain't held the title since '09. Big stakes ahead.
Who has the best Buddha?
Turnover battle, Gary.
They have to. Both teams have to start off strong. They cannot. If one team starts off slow and dull, that could be the break.
What's your check mark, my friend? Okay.
I think it is going to come down to turnovers. I think if one of these teams can force it, that'll end up being the difference maker.
Okay.
I have doubted Gina a couple of times this year.
Mm-hmm.
I was proven wrong a couple times. I'm not doubting them. I'm giving the win to the Giants.
Okay, Mr. Enoch.
Oh, yeah.
Dusty, are you on board with this Panther football team, or is the Giants still run this district?
Gina beat Tioga, right? That was Tioga's only loss.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was super impressed with that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going with Bunky at home.
Bucky at home field advantage.
Yeah, I'm going with the Panthers.
What an atmosphere that's going to be.
Yeah.
It's gonna be like the early 2000s when Bunky was like competing with Port Barry. Bunky's good.
Chris,
Like in the 90s.
you going to keep a close eye on this game?
Hey,
You going to pull it up on Under the Lights?
Oh, you know, I'm gonna be watching on the sideline, blowing my horn every time we score against Cecilia.
I'm going to keep an eye on it again. Probably go watch it too.
Yeah, man, I like Gina, man. They been here before.
And
in
still.
order to beat them, man, you got to beat them.
Yep.
So,
That's right,
so
you're
Bunky
right.
got
Like they say in
after
MMA,
this
and
weekend,
still,
Bunky,
Gina,
if Bunky pull it
will win
off,
the district.
Oh, yeah, the winner of this game is probably going to
right,
take the district.
right,
Number 1 versus number what?
Six.
Six.
But different class, different.
yeah,
The one's
Oh, I'm just
talking about-
select, one's non-select.
I'm just talking about.
yeah. Bunky
ranking
goes
wise.
in.
If
Bunky
we
in the
pull
front.
it up and go actual
Whoever wins that game
380.
wins the district.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I think so.
No doubt in my mind.
Absolutely.
The way I see it, Chris, we know Bunky's got a good defense, but their offense is gonna have to make a play.
And Gina has athletes on the deep side of the ball, and they gon' like I said, they've been there before. You know,
I'm excited.
Experience, you know.
Yeah.
Hey,
I'm excited to cover it.
too.
That's how excited I am. On my work weekend, I never go to Friday games, and I'm making my trip for this one.
Classifications combined,
3.
3. Gina ranked number 1 in the state. Bunky ranked 9. That's combined with select
That's good.
and non-select.
Yeah.
So you
That's
got
power ranking?
top
Yeah,
2.
that's power ranking.
Two
You
top
got two
10
top 10
teams.
teams.
meeting
Yeah.
this week.
Regardless of how you look at it.
Nut
We're
said,
lucky enough to be called.
somebody said somebody got the best Buddha, and Nut said Borg's Buddha.
I will say the best stop, and Scott never let me down. Say that's the best
The
one.
Rams let you down.
What you mean?
Carolina Rams let you down.
I didn't pick Acadiana last week. I told you John Kerr's going to win that game fairly easily.
Ladies and gentlemen, at that time of the week where we shut things down and we get ready for high school football across the state of Louisiana starting tomorrow night. Got a good slate of games. But Friday, wow, what a day we have in store Friday. I'm already looking ahead to week 10. Wow, what some matchups we have in store. I already skipped over week 9 because that's how good week 10 is. But let's get through week 8 before we get there, okay? We're going to shut things down. We're going to get ready tomorrow night live on Under the Lights, Crawley, Livonia. You can watch that one if you're interested in watching a little high school football action. Join myself and Mr. Alex on the call. And then Friday night we have Gina and Bunky. It's going to be a wild ride. It's going to be a lot of fun. We can't wait to bring you that one Friday night. Yes, it is unreal. Very, very crazy. Enoch, final words as we close the show out tonight and get ready for our great week 8.
My final words is for a lot of the teams that are undefeated and whatnot, work with what got you there. It doesn't matter if the team you're playing against has 1 win or undefeated right there with you. And you have a chance to make history. I mean, going 10-0 is not the easiest thing to do, obviously. It's fairly rare. So anytime you have a chance at history like that, you have to take it. And if you're in a district race, just keep pounding away. Keep pounding away. It doesn't matter if that big game's in week 9 or week 10. You still got to win week 8.
Dusty, final words. as you close tonight out, and thank you again, my friend. I haven't seen you since state championship week, but it was an honor to have you here tonight.
Yeah, thanks for having me, man. No, just like I said earlier, week 10 is going to be loaded, but I feel like this week it has some really good games. Like I said, even if both teams are 0-7, I still think it's going to be some good football games. So I'm just looking forward to seeing some of these results and seeing if we can knock Holden off his pedestal.
Oh yeah, need that to happen.
That was 3 of us last week.
Yeah, 3-way ties.
Here's your final question, Jordy. 16 teams remain undefeated going into this week. How many will be left after this week? Bunkie plays Gina, so that's a loss, and Dearborn Woods plays Calvary, so that's a loss. So guaranteed 14. I think we're safe at the 10 to 14 range.
I'll split it down the middle and say 12.
Well, that's a good number.
Yeah.
I'll split it down the middle.
I'm going to say 13, 14 is my number this week.
I like 12.
Okay.
Yeah, but that's fine.
Gary, final words as we close this one out. We got a big one to call Friday.
I got a great one to call Friday. Look forward to it, man. I'm so excited about that trip out there to Bunkie.
Your first time?
First time calling the game. I've been there as a, I guess you'd say when I was in school back in the day and supporting the Red Devils whenever they play them. But, man, that's been a long time since I've been there. Look forward to it. All I can say for all you guys that are playing, keep yourself healthy, keep working hard, listen to your coaches, do what you got to do because, man, we're already, we're in week 8 right now. It's going by so fast. Enjoy the moment, do what you got to do, and keep striving to be better.
Yes. Rose Pine Menard, quick pick there, guys. Who you got?
Menard.
Holy Savior Menard.
Okay. I'll give some love to Rose Pine. Why not? Holden?
If Rose Pine wins, no, that's good.
It didn't make her slate of games here, so I won't
I'm
count
nothing
against
against
us.
Rose Pine.
Holden, final words as we close week 8.
Just another week. I'm excited to go to the Bunkie game, be my first, another new stadium that I go cover.
And in that semifinal atmosphere, it's
Yeah,
going to be that.
That's gonna be cool, man. I'm excited for that.
Chris, final words as we close out.
Yeah, man, just stay healthy, man. Y'all try to stay healthy. Coaches come out there, continue perfecting your craft.
Keep working.
Learn something new every week in a game situation. Like you say, a lot of district titles on the line. A lot of teams gonna be looking forward to play for a title next week and the week after. So, just go in there one game at a time.
Mm-hmm.
Like police sports.
Westminster Lafayette versus Lafayette Renaissance this week.
Lafayette versus Lafayette Renaissance.
They're doing pretty good.
Give me the Chargers.
Chargers?
Yeah.
Chargers.
Yeah, it's
Sorry, Coach Q.
Yeah.
Renaissance Chargers. Good one.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you again for joining us here tonight for our Week 8 edition of high school football sit-down talk show. I want to thank Mr. Enoch for coming down and sitting with us again. Your
Always a pleasure,
second
man.
show this year, correct?
Yes, sir. Always a pleasure.
Mr. Dusty, I hope this isn't your last time talking football with us. The playoffs are right around the corner, so you're always welcome.
Yeah, send me an invite, man. I'll be here.
Gary?
Hi.
I'll see you next week.
How's that go?
I'll see you
I'm
next
always
week.
here. What
Yeah.
Chris, 4th time on the panel this year, right?
Yeah.
Hey, JB done missed the show.
Oh man.
He ain't gonna delete it. He'll watch
Oh, he'll watch
We'll
the
watch
replay.
the replay. 4th time on the show this year. You come straight from work, so always a pleasure having you. Thank you for everything you do for the show, my friend.
No problem, man.
Ladies and gentlemen, good luck this week to all our locals. Good luck to all the coaching staffs and teams around the state of Louisiana as you do go get in position for that district title, or you do go get in position for that playoff berth, home field advantage, or even a first round bye. We'll see you live from the jungle tomorrow night in Livonia High School, and Friday night we'll see you live from the Grove. It's been an absolute pleasure to bring you high school football here in Week 8 live on Under the Lights. God bless high school football. God bless this panel. God bless each and every one of you watching tonight, and God bless UTL. We'll see you next time.